No secrets.
So they will announce the players for each of these teams down the first and third base line. South Sevier as the number 1 seed. They are the home team in this game. Parowan coming in as the number 6 seed. And the Parowan Rams playing for the state championship for the second year in a row. Last year, Beaver came through and double dipped them. And so you know they're going to be feeling hungry with that taste still in their mouth. Well,
yeah, they really are. But if you're Parowan, for them, that's the attitude you got to have as a coaching staff, is say, hey, it's been done before. It happened to us. You guys know that. You were here. So they're going to try to do that to South Sevier. But at the same time, I really like South Sevier's chances. They're sitting in a good spot. They have pitching available. They haven't had to go as deep. But, they've stayed in that winner's bracket and did what they need to do.
I'll tell you what scared me, one little brief conversation I had with Coach Jed Townsend when he handed me his lineup. Coach, what's your thoughts? He says, I fasted and prayed on that lineup.
So you're saying the Lord's on his side?
Well, I'm just saying he at least asked for the help, so we'll see if he gets it.
All right, there you go. Of course, Parowan, hard to believe with the many years that Coach Matt Labram was down there at Parowan and retired his jersey as a coach of Parowan, but they never won a baseball state title. But they're still looking for their first state championship in baseball.
I was just going to say, and I helped coach Labram down there for 2 years, and we coached 4 of these coaches right here. So I know every one of these guys and was able to coach them, and they're good guys. They understand baseball. They were good baseball players, and so it's fun to see them, having success and doing well.
So they're looking for their first baseball state title. South Sevier has won 7 in their history, and they're looking for their 8th one, their first one, though, since 2002. So 20 years on the dot. South Sevier is looking for their first baseball state championship since that time. So that's these two teams coming into this game now. Catch me up on how it's been for these last 2 days. I wasn't here for those ones. I did see Parowan obviously this morning, and I checked and see how things went. But what did you guys see on the field? Really, let's start with you, especially when they played yesterday.
Yeah, what you see with Parowan earlier, if they can get off like that and keep the big guys going, they're confident. They don't care who they got pitching, and they're confident. South Sevier, their strength's hitting. As we start going through the lineup and looking at the numbers, for them, there's nothing. Well, there's a 299, but that's the only thing you got under 300 in the top 9 there. So,
it's a long ways under.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say there's nothing there, but to be fair, I'm going to do that. So, I think I like South Sevier's chances, but they got double dipped last year. They know how it feels. They've been in that situation, so you never know what that kind of experience can do for you.
Nolan, your thoughts, what you've seen out of these two teams the last 2 days?
Well, I've been really impressed with South Sevier just all year long. They hit the ball really well. They've got good bats. I feel like that's their strength, and that's going to be something they're going to try to rely on again here in this game, because you're going to have to score lots of runs. We've seen that throughout this whole tournament. You've got to score runs. I felt like going into the tournament, Parowan has the best pitcher in Shaden Benson and probably the best overall player in Benson, and so they had to use him to beat Enterprise, stay in the winner's bracket. South Sevier was able to come back and get a victory against Kanab, but they saved pitchers because of it. They had to make some adjustments early, and so they were able to save some pitchers. However, Parowan's ran through a lot of pitchers, but they bring in Matt Townsend to finish the game, who looked really good. But at the same time, I think South Sevier bats are going to be too much.
Yeah, he's got 98 pitches. Ain't that what Kurt told us?
Yeah, he threw 12.
Okay. I actually had him at 15, so even better for Matt Townsend. So let's look at the starting lineups in this one. We'll start with the visiting team. Willie, let's go to the Parowan Rams.
Okay, leading things off for Coach Jed Townsend. Number 10, shortstop, that's Trevin Yardley. Batting second, number 22 in center field, Shaden Benson. Batting third, catcher, number 31, Christian Boss. Batting fourth, number 32, at third base, Jace Not So Little. And batting fifth, number 28 in left field, that's Wyatt Hall.
Let's see, well, we're going to have the national anthem, so let's take a quick break here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Since 1947, Barney...
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And more. Why would you drive for anyone else? Call DP Curtis Trucking for details. 435-893-2886. That's 893-2886. Or click on dpcurtis.com.
Also, ladies and gentlemen,
Your source for high school sports.
KSBC. And thank you to the staff.
All righty, well, we'll take up where we left off. Batting sixth for the coach Jed Townsend's Parowan Rams, number 4 in right field, Dawson Robb. Batting seventh, the DH, number 34, Hunter Johnson. Batting eighth, number 12 at first base, that's Luke Millett. Batting ninth, number 19, and pitching today, Matt Townsend. Running out the line at second base, that's number 13, Porter Jackman.
So there's your starters for the Parowan Rams. Now for the South Sevier Rams. I'll go ahead and give you the starters for the home team in this one, the number 1 seed. Leading off, playing second base, number 3, Riley Barney. Hitting in the 2-hole, the shortstop, number 1, Ridge Tebbs. Batting third, the center fielder, number 22, Keegan Heath. Hitting cleanup, the first baseman, number 10, Tate Brown. Batting fifth is the catcher today, number 6, Peyton Ingram. Batting in the 6th spot, the left fielder, number 18, Biggs Northrup. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 31, Canyon Okerlund. Batting eighth, the DH today, number 4, Tyson Robb. Hitting in the 9-hole is the right fielder, number 7, the lone senior, Hagan Morrell for the South Sevier Rams. And pitching to start the game and being DH for is number 8, Riker Freeman for South Sevier, as he will go for the third day in a row. 35 pitches each of the last 2 days, which gives him 40 pitches to go today. And again, the South Sevier Rams are coached by Eric Baker, who we heard from a few minutes ago here. Get ready for this state championship game. Again, it's been 20 years for South Sevier since their last baseball state title, while Parowan is still looking for first state title in baseball history at Parowan High School. Final thoughts coming into the game.
Who's hungriest? That's what I think it's going to boil down to. You know, maybe experience with this, the kind of the electric atmosphere that you're going to have today. And then, there's some pressure that, despite Coach Baker telling us just another ball game, you guys have played baseball before. So, here we go. Coach?
Yeah, just excited to get this one going right here. 2 really good teams. Both have had good tournaments so far, and South Sevier comes in having to be beat twice. So, a lot of pressure sometimes can be taken off knowing that, but at the same time, you don't want to ever get to that game, too, if you don't have to.
Trevin Yardley leads it off for the Parowan Rams. Riker Freeman from the windup. First pitch misses upstairs. Ball 1. Yardley's followed by Benson, then Boston. If we get to the 4th batter this inning, that'll be the cleanup hitter, Jace Little. Again, Riker Freeman on the mound, freshman pitcher for South Sevier. They've got 4 freshmen in the starting lineup. That one misses upstairs. Ball 2 and a 2-0 count now to Yardley. 1 senior for South Sevier. They've got 5 juniors, 1 sophomore, and then a slew of freshmen.
Yeah, we've seen some, Kanab, had a couple freshmen and some young guys in there.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. A lot of these teams, you see that very rare do you have a freshman starting varsity, but you're seeing it more and more.
2-1 pitch now. Swing and a miss for Yardley. Strike 2 and a 2-2 count.
This is the one thing South Sevier really needs to do is they've got to be able to be efficient with their pitches right here. Freeman throwing strikes, let your defense work. You don't want to walk guys and run the pitch count up.
2-2 just misses. Ball 3 and a full count. Again, Freeman can go 40 pitches. Obviously, you're probably, if you're Coach Baker, hoping you can get to 3 innings out of him. We're right there close to it. But then Keegan Heath does have a full 110 he can come in with. 3-2 count. The pitch from Freeman to Yardley. Swung on and fouled back to the screen as Yardley battles to stay alive.
And the thing you might mention with the 40, he can't, at 40, he's done. He can't finish the guy that he's facing.
So Freeman back on the mound.
It's going to be the 7th pitch. So they're going to use up almost 1/4 of them in one batter here.
Again, the payoff pitch from Freeman. This is upstairs for ball 4, and Yardley will draw the leadoff walk for Parowan.
Tough position to put a freshman in, I played in a couple high school state championship games myself in high school, and it's an electric atmosphere.
Especially here at Kearns. I just don't know that there's anywhere else like it.
I played at Northern Colorado for a couple times. Great big field, brick wall around the thing.
First pitch to Shaden Benson on the outside edge for a called strike 1 as he stands on the left side. And the thing that makes Kearns unique is the crowd is literally on top of you.
Well, it's loud, too. Everything echoes. And This is an interesting matchup right here.
The 0-1 on the outside edge again, called strike two, so a quick 0-2 count to Benson. Freeman's gone low and away on the outside edge twice.
And we haven't seen Freeman throw a curveball yet. He's just pretty much pounding the fastball. We'll see what he's going to do right here, 0-2 to Benson.
Upstairs, Benson able to foul it off to stay alive.
But he was late, you know, behind that one. I'd like to get the bat on that, especially up there.
I would imagine right here, you know, you challenge him up and in right there, maybe come that curveball down and away.
Next one swung on high, fly ball to center field. Keegan Heath circles around and makes the play almost right at him for out number one. So an F8 for Shaden Benson, fly out to center field for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and that's got to be a big feather in your cap if you're Riker Freeman out there, the freshman going up against Shaden Benson right there, getting him to fly out. You've got to feel good about that one.
Benson hit it hard, but right at Keegan Heath for the first out of the inning. That will bring Christian Bost to the plate now for the Parowan Rams.
Yeah, with the left-hander, you know, Yardley's got good speed, but they haven't seen the move over there first base yet.
First pitch, misses up, ball one.
Boss come in hitting 382 with 3 home runs.
Well, we've seen Freeman pick off a player earlier in the tournament, too, with the really good move to first base.
Yeah, I believe that was a Kanab ball player.
Just froze him.
The 1-0 pitch, he'll square to bunt, drop it on the first base side. Freeman off the mound, picks it up. Throw to first is high, and it pulls Brown off the bag. Everybody is safe as the Boss will reach on the air.
You know, sometimes you put the pressure on the defense. You know, that's what you're trying to do right there, as he was just trying to bunt for a base hit too, but it works out for him as that ball was just thrown high.
The left-handed aspect of Freeman makes it a little bit tougher throw and ends up being a little bit high. Brown jumped to catch it but couldn't hold the bag, so that'll bring the cleanup hitter Jace Little to the plate. First pitch swinging foul to the right side, strike one.
And he was a little late too on that one. You know, Freeman's got a little bit more speed than maybe what they saw at some of them Kanab pitchers.
So an 0-1 count. Yardley at second with good speed. Boss stands at first. One out. The 0-1 from Freeman. Thought about it, held off. Watched ball one go by low for the 1-1 count.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
You know, for Freeman, and if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss. You don't want to miss up to Jace Little.
1-1 pitch, swung on, line drive, back up the middle for a base hit. Yardley's going to score easily. Rounding second, heading for third is Bost. He will come in there standing up. It's an RBI single for Jace Little, and Parowan strikes first. 1-0 here in the first inning.
That pickup pitch on the out of half and just drove it. 2-hop to Keegan Heath out there in center field.
Brings Wyatt Hall to the plate now for the Rams of Parowan.
Wyatt Hall.
Wyatt Hall came in hitting 339. No home runs. But he showed his speed in the last ball game getting down the line.
Stands it on the right side. First and third situation here for Parowan. First pitch. This is upstairs from Freeman, ball one.
You know, this is the championship game that I had going in the tournament. I felt like, you know, Parowan was going to come through on their side and Sevier. And so really probably you've got, you know, Parowan didn't finish that way. They had an RPI of 6, Sevier 1, but really probably the two best teams.
1-0 pitch is fouled back to the screen, the concrete block, and it bounces right back out to Riker Freeman. 1-1 count.
Yep, and they'll inspect it. Most time they've been keeping it, as they do with that one.
Yeah, to me, I told you coming in, to me it's South Sevier, Enterprise, Parowan. I feel like those are the three best. Kanab, in the emotional aspect, they had a great tournament. And but for the most part, that's what we saw. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike two to Wyatt Hall.
Well, and yeah, I mean,
count.
obviously Enterprise can have good teams, but when you have a Shaden Benson, you know, my money was on Benson against anybody.
Yeah, and it proved to
Yeah.
pretty good money on Thursday.
Yeah.
So Hall back into the right side, one out, runners at first and third. Next pitch. It just grazed his arm, and so he'll take the hit by pitch, and that will load the bases now for Parowan with one out.
Yeah, and Freeman racking the pitches up too. So, you know, you're hoping to get 3. You might 1, maybe 2 at this point. You know, he's got to settle in. Loaded bases, and Rob this Parowan lineup, we saw it last game against Kanab. Very few strikeouts. They put the ball in play.
First pitch to Dawson Robb on the inside edge, strike one. That's pitch number 21 for Freeman, so he's only got 19 left.
Already 2 freebies in my freebie tracker here.
A walk and a hit by pitch. And an air to go along with it. Here's the 0-1. That one's in there for a called strike 2, so a quick 0-2 count to Robb.
I missed the walk, so 3 of them. What got you here for, Level?
Well, and you talked about it, Willie, too, in the post game. The freebies. Parowan had a couple extra freebies than what Kanab did, and that was the difference.
Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Robb will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Riker Freeman.
Yeah, it was a big-time strikeout, good-looking curveball, good sink in action on it, good rotation, and that was a big out with loaded bases.
So what you can hope for is that the K's outweigh the freebies here.
First pitch to Hunter Johnson, strike 1 on the outside half for the 0-1 count.
Hunter Johnson, a 238 hitter, so it drops off fairly sharply here, 238, 263, but then Matt Townsend comes up at 368.
0-1 through the bat, fouled to the screen, strike 2, and an 0-2 count now to Johnson.
In the 9 hole.
One thing about it, Freeman's thrown a lot, as a freshman. I mean, they kind of, Heath and Freeman kind of 1-2 all year long, and anytime they needed to, he's used to coming in these situations.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, and a ball in the dirt. And picked up by
Stepped
Ingram.
on home, though.
And the throw out at first for the out. So Johnson will go down swinging for the third out of the inning. Second strikeout for Riker Freeman, but Parowan strikes first. They get 1 run on 1 hit. 1 error committed by Sevier in the process, and 3 runners left on base through 1/2 inning of play. It is Parowan 1, Sevier 0 in the 2A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Parowan in the first, they got 1 run on 1 hit. 1 South Sevier error, 3 runners left on base.
Gatesfield on the campus of Kearns High School as we go to the bottom of the first inning in the 2A baseball state championship. 1-0. Parowan leads South Sevier, and South Sevier will bring the top of the order to the plate to Riley Barney, Ridge Tebbs, and Keegan Heath. If we get to the fourth batter of this inning, the cleanup hitter is Tate Brown for the South Sevier Rams.
Riley Barney comes in hitting .472.
Leading off the bottom of the first for South Sevier. The second baseman, number
Stand in
3,
on the right side as the leadoff hitter for South Sevier. Matt Townsend, the pitcher for Parowan. They were close to being able to save him for a full 110 in this game, but he threw 12 pitches to close out the earlier game today, so he's got 98 to throw in this one.
Comes with a 4.20 ERA, 7 strikeouts, no walks.
Barney in on the right side. First pitch, curveball up, ball 1.
Yeah, that wasn't the same curveball he finished the game with.
Barney back in on the right side. Back in the box. That back foot on the front line. 1-0 pitch. High and tight. Ball 2 and a 2-0 hitters count now to Barney.
Yeah, Townsend came in with that loaded bases, and he just threw strikes. Right now, had a little bit of time in between games, but starts Barney off 2-0.
Here's the 2-0 to Barney. Curveball. That caught the inside edge for strike one and a 2-1 count.
Kind of froze Riley there.
Two balls, one strike as Barney stands back in. Working from the windup is Townsend. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Another curveball. Strike two and a 2-2 count.
I see really two strengths for South Sevier: the hitting, the base running. Some good speed. Parowan, hitting, good speed. A lot of similarities here between the two teams.
2-2 count. Barney back in on the right side. Townsend from the windup. Curveball, swung on, ground ball to the left side. Little off his body. Picks it up with the glove, and he has no shot at Riley Barney, who reaches on the air for South Sevier.
Yeah, just a hard hit ball there down the third baseline. That's one that Little normally fields easily, but he let the ball kind of play him, get in too deep, and it didn't get the glove out in front, and it kind of eats him up right there.
Then he made the decision to try to pick it up with the glove as opposed to the bare hand. And once you do that, it's game over.
Well, you can't blame the infield on this one because there ain't a bump in it out there. I can tell you that. I walked the whole thing.
Pretty good hops. Pretty true.
Ridge tabs the plate. First pitch. Misses outside. Ball one.
These two teams played each other yesterday to get to the loser. Obviously, Parowan dropped in the one loss, and that put South Sevier in the championship. So they've played each other. They know each other, but it was a bunch of early runs from South Sevier that made the difference.
Curveball, high fly ball to left. Benson going over. Hall coming in, and he'll make the play from left field for out number one. So an F7 for Ridge Tibbs. Fly out to left for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a 12-5 ball game in favor of Parowan yesterday afternoon. At
South Sevier,
South Sevier, yeah.
The center fielder.
You know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
On it. Spit it out.
So that'll bring Keegan Heath to the plate now for South Sevier. And if I heard you guys correctly, he's been swinging a hot bat for South Sevier.
Yeah, he really has. In fact, against these guys yesterday, he was 3 for 3 the first game, and then hit two balls really hard. Had a single, got on an air, and then he flew out to right, flew out to left, and then he did ground out to short.
First pitch curveball misses inside for ball one.
Comes in hitting 389 with a home run.
Barney at first, one out. 1-0 pitch, another curveball. Big swing and a miss, strike one.
He was tracking it. He just, I think, pulled his head off a little bit and trying to do maybe just a little bit too much with it. Talked about taking that ball, especially the one that's spinning towards the outside portion of the plate, to center or right field.
Yeah, and he tried pulling that and swung right over the top.
There's the 1-1. Another curveball, ground ball, back of the middle, through for a base hit past the diving Yardley. And Barney will hold at second as Benson comes up ready to throw in center field.
There's one of the guys on the baseball field that you don't want to test the arm. He'll throw a bullet over there.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that normally you're going to see Barney go first to third right there with anybody but Benson in center field, and they know that. He wisely slows down and stops at second base.
So that'll bring Tate Brown to the plate now, a 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. They're taking a moment on the mound, Christian Boston, Matt Townsend.
Well, we saw yesterday, too, out of Tate Brown. He hit a double down the left field line. He's not afraid to take that outside pitch and drive it that way.
He stands in on the left side, does Brown.
Yeah, he'll cover the plate.
Heath, a big lead at first, but not being held on. Barney, not much of a lead at second. First pitch to Brown. Curveball. Catches the outside edge for a called strike one.
Yeah, and Heath has to be careful because Christian Boss, the catcher right here, he's not afraid to back pick to first base if you get too far off and sneak in Luke Millett behind.
Good thing is you have a left-handed batter that he's got to work with as well.
Yeah, and he's got the lead runner, but we've still seen it You have to just be heads up.
0-1 pitch, another curveball hit
look
sharply.
out, boys.
Right to reward Coach Ingram there, who dropped all of his clipboard and everything for strike 2 and an 0-2 count.
Well, and you're keeping track of ricochets. Luke Millett made a play on the ricochet there.
That's right. Right back at him. So an 0-2 count with 1 out, 2 on here for South Sevier. Bottom of the first inning. Parowan leads South Sevier 1-0.
Was that the old cartoon? Ping, 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 ricochet rabbit.
Townsend will take the sign from Bost. Checks the runners. The 0-2. Fastball swung on high, pop up into shallow center field. Benson coming in on a light jog, makes the catch for that number 2. So an F8 for Brown, flat to center field for the second out of the inning.
That'll bring up Peyton Ingram. He's hitting 299, a paltry 299, but he does have 2 home runs.
Well, right now, if you're South Sevier, you want to see him come up. It doesn't matter if it's a home run or not, but just get the little base knock and tie this game up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he did in the earlier game with these guys.
He's the first of 3 straight freshmen in the lineup. Stands in on the right side. First pitch from Townsend. Curveball. Drops in, strike 1.
Yeah, and yesterday against these guys, he was a perfect 2 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and drew a walk.
Runners at first and second for South Sevier. They'll take their leads. That's Barney at second with good speed. Heath at first. Ingram at the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Townsend. Another curveball swung on through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. They're waving. Barney around third. He will come in to score. It was bobbled and left by Hall. Heath will hold at second. Ingram comes through for South Sevier with an RBI single to left, and we're tied at 1.
That's that clutch hit they were looking for, and Peyton Ingram still swinging a hot bat.
Yep, if you live with the curveball, you're going to die with the curveball. He hung that one up there, and Peyton Ingram turned on it.
So that brings Biggs Northrup to the plate now for South Sevier as he stands in on the right side.
Sevier doesn't have those kind of batting averages because they can't hit the curveball, I can promise you that.
Heath at second. Ingram at first now for South Sevier. Northrup's going to call time as he steps out of the box. Coach Brown on the third baseline gives some encouragement to Northrup as he stands back in on the right side. Townsend sets. First pitch to Northrup. Swinging a foul tip. Strike 1.
Yeah, pulling off of that.
Biggs also yesterday against this same Parowan team had single, he struck out swinging, and then a base on balls. So he was 2 for 3.
He's trying to do too much with that curveball. Outside there, he's going to have to shoot that thing to the right side. And we've seen him hit with power to right center field.
Here's the 0-1 from Townsend. In the dirt, good block by Bost. Holds everybody. Ball 1.
And you can throw that curveball, 58 feet, or that one maybe 55 feet. But when you got Christian Bost back there, you can trust that he's going to block anything in front.
So a 1-1 count. Turn and throw, fake the throw to second. Heath dives back. Jackman at second base was the closest, but he didn't even make a move even toward the bat.
Yeah, and I think had he, I think you'd have saw Townsend at least throw up, but wisely no throw.
So a 1-1 count as Northrup digs back in. Here's the pitch from Townsend. Fastball, strike 2. 1-2 count.
Yeah, first thing you got to do, you got to pick up the spin, then the location of the baseball. See Big, I don't think Big saw the spin on that one. Looking for the dot, like you said, for the curveball, didn't see it. That time it was by him.
1-2 curveball. Nearly hit him. Townsend wanted to strike 3, didn't get it. Ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
Yeah, and go fastball away, and then it's interesting. I mentioned it before, but a lot of curveballs on the inside part of the plate, more so than what you traditionally think on the outer part of the plate.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 2 on for South Sevier in a 1-1 ball game. Bottom first of the 2A state championship. The pitch from Townsend to Northrup. That's in the dirt outside. Another great block by Christian Bost. Ball 3 and a full count now to Northrup.
Full count, 2 outs. Runners are going to be on their horse.
Got Heath at second, Ingram at first, both with good speed.
You want to see a track meet? Keep your eyes open. Channel V6.com.
Townsend sets. The 3-2 payoff pitch. Runners take off. In the dirt outside. Ball 4. Heath will round third and hold there as the ball kicked toward the third base line. And the base is loaded now for South Sevier with Kenyon Okerlund coming to the plate.
Kenyon Okerlund yesterday had 2 strikeouts, drew a walk, and then a single, so it was 1 for 3 on the day. But big spot for him right here. Give the chance. He gets a base hit right here, maybe gets 1, possibly 2, and give South Sevier the early lead.
This base on balls given up by Townsend. The freebies are 3-2 right now in favor still of the South Sevier. Not a title you want to wear too proudly.
Kenyon Okerlund stands on the right side.
Kenyon came in hit 395.
First pitch, curveball. Drops in, strike 1.
That's the one thing that Townsend's going to have to really, do is continue to throw the curveball to keep these South Sevier hitters off balance and not just sitting on fastballs.
So you may not throw too many of them right there.
Here's the 0-1 to Okerlund. Swings at one of the dirt, strike 2.
That's the one you want to throw.
Yeah, and it's almost like, things are kind of playing out for Coach Townsend, really, because if you're going to beat the South Sevier team, you got to beat them that way right there.
An 0-2 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded in a 1-1 ball game. Townsend working from the windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Okerlund. Fastball away, gets past. Heath on his way home. The throw is not in time as Heath slides in safely. South Sevier takes the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first inning on the wild pitch.
Yeah, and really that was all Keegan Heath because Boss got here. It's a short backstop, but really Townsend didn't get there in time. Yeah. Had Townsend got there in time, that would have been a closer play, but a really good job of Keegan Heath getting a good secondary and get down the line.
Ball was also just a little bit up the first baseline, so he had to make sure he got the baseball and then come back. Nobody was backing up at the mound there. Had that got by him, you might have seen the third run score.
Here's the 1-2 now to Okerlund. Check swing, held off. Ball 2 low and away for the 2-2 count.
Good recognition there by Kenyon Okerlund.
Interesting, too, pitch selection. You have 2 straight curveballs for strikes, and he chooses to try the hard fastball and throws it by the catcher, and South Sevier gets the lead.
2-2 pitch. Another curveball, swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, picked up by Boss for the first in time as Okerlund will go down swinging for the third out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Matt Townsend. But South Sevier takes the lead as they get 2 runs in the inning. They do so on 2 hits. 1 error committed by Parowan in the process, and 2 runners left on base through 1 inning of play in the 2A state championship. South Sevier 2, Parowan 1 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Harmon Tire in Nephi is proud to sponsor this broadcast of high school sports and wants to wish the Juab-Wasps good luck. Harmon Tire, 895 North Main in Nephi, has been a family-owned business since 1973, providing Nephi and the surrounding areas with exceptional service for over 40 years. Harmon Tire specializes in tires, alignments, brakes, steering, suspension, wheel shocks, struts, and more. Stop by Harmon Tire on Main Street in Nephi or give them a call at 435-623-0720. That's Harmon Tire in Nephi. Go Wasps!
Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora have a non-stop tractor workhorse, just what you need for a non-stop world. Power Star tractors from New Holland provide unprecedented power, comfort, and performance in a utility tractor so you can tackle ground, municipal or farm tasks with ease. Choose from 6 models from 64 to 117 engine horsepower with an open-air ROPS platform or spacious Vision View cab. Learn more about the Power Star family of tractors. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora today.
Come find your trail in Utah's Trail Country.
Here in Sevier County, we have a trail for everyone, from hiking to biking to rafting and more.
Hike to 100 Hands Cave and stay overnight in a pit house at the Fremont Indian State Park.
Or kill it on the Kilnet Trail, part of our new mountain bike trail system above Richville.
Raft the rapids past the Big Rock Canyon Mountain.
Or fish your heart out at Fish Lake.
Whatever it may be, we have a trail for you.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Utah's Trail Country and come find your trail in Sevier County.
This is Central Utah's sports leader,
KSBC.
Okay, quick shout out to one of our V6 sponsors. Gateway St. Clair is locally owned and operated and has served Duchesne for 22 years. Stop by for a car or truck wash, Subway sandwich, hot stuff pizza, and lots of delicious snacks. They also have a free RV dump, clean bathrooms, and friendliest staff around.
Top of the second inning in the 2A state championship. South Sevier leads Parowan 2-1.
for him to say.
And we'll have the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming to the plate for Parowan. Luke Millett, Matt Townsend, and Trevin Yardley. First pitch to Millett, right down the middle. Strike one. If we get to the fourth batter, that will be Shaden Benson. Riker Freeman on the mound. He threw 26 pitches that first inning, so he can only go 14 more.
Well, and Southside would love to see lefty versus lefty with Freeman against Benson.
Curveball, strike two as he swung over the top of that one.
Wicked curveball.
He does. He has a great curveball. He doesn't throw it a lot. He doesn't have to a lot of times, as he just challenge hitters with that fastball down.
There's the 0-2. There's that down fastball in the dirt for ball one. So 1-2 count.
2-1 ball game, South Sevier. You see why they didn't get too bent out of the 1-0 lead going into the bottom.
Just missed on the 1-2 pitch, low and away for ball two and a 2-2 count.
They come back and got two of their own.
Yeah. That's their strength, hit the baseball, score runs.
2-2 on the inside edge for a called strike three, and Millett will go down looking for the first out of the inning, third strikeout of the game for Riker Freeman.
First looky for Riker Freeman. That is his third strikeout. The other two were swinging.
The pitcher, number 19,
so that'll bring Matt Townsend to the plate now for Parowan. 10 more pitches for Freeman.
Well, and Coach Townsend came up and talked to him. I don't know if he said, hey, see a pitch or two.
First pitch in the dirt, ball one.
Because otherwise, you're just giving signs and continuing to coach from third base. But after that caught-looking third strike on Luke Millett, he came up, and I think they realized where they're at pitch count-wise too, and just trying to say, hey, let's see a few pitches right here. And that's the other thing. Townsend, he's like a leadoff hitter. He can hit down in the count 0-2.
Both pitchers threw 26 pitches in the first inning. And again, Townsend doesn't have a full 110. He has 98 he can throw in this game. 1-0 count here as Freeman sets the pitch to Townsend. Swung on, ground ball back to the middle. Barney back over. Builds with the backhand. Throw to first is in time for the 4-3 ground out and the second out of the inning.
Yeah, so much for seeing pitches, right? One ball and he's swinging away. But
they saw one.
Well, that's true. I guess he did. But he got a pretty good swing on that, but a nice play defensively from Riley Barney out there at second base.
Back and said, Dad, what'd you expect? He said, see you pitch. I saw one. Saw one I liked, too.
Yeah. So that brings Trevin Yardley to the plate now. 2 outs and nobody on. Top of the second inning, 2-1. South Sevier leads Parowan.
5-13 hitter with 4 home runs.
First pitch. Just missed inside, ball one.
We saw both Yardley and Benson go back-to-back home runs to start the game off against Enterprise, but they were seeing Rylan Randall had pretty good zip on his fastball, playing some of that power.
Strike one there for the 1-1 count. There's the 1-1. Curveball swung on, deep fly ball to center field. Heath going back to his right. He's not going to get there as it one-hops the wall. Yardley heading it for second. Will stroll in, standing up with a 2-out double.
There's that curveball that, he left it up just a little bit, and Yardley made him pay for that as he drives that one deep to center field.
That one didn't have the sharp break. Nope. That had kind of the sweep to it. Yardley was able to pick it up.
The center fielder, number 22, Jaden Benson.
Be interesting to see, right here with 2 outs. You save some pitches too, but you just maybe put Benson on and pitch to Christian Bost right here.
So Benson stands it on the left side. First pitch.
There you go.
That's the same spot he hit twice against Benson the first time around. Low outside strike.
Well, they might like the, left-handed versus the left-handed batter.
There's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two as Benson just kind of waved at it.
Yeah, probably a pretty good approach. No reason to walk him when you got Freeman throwing left-handed out there against the left-handed batter. Shaden Benson typically doesn't see a lot of lefties.
There's the 0-2 pitch. Ooh. South Sevier wanted it. Didn't look much different than the first one. That was a call strike. Ball one.
Yeah, and the difference was Benson swung at that one, and he moved it just a little bit. Definitely hit the glove, didn't have to move it, and they're going to try it again.
0-2. That one was a little bit lower for ball two and a 2-2 count. And Coach Baker's out. I think that's it. I believe that's pitch 40.
Got one more.
So they will bring in Keegan Heath. out of center field to replace Riker Freeman, but a great job by Freeman here as this first state tournament as a freshman. Keegan Heath coming in from center. We'll let you know the other changes when we come back here on V6 Media and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network of the 2A State Championship.
We've been spending a lot more time in our homes and with our families. This creates wear and tear on our floors. One solution to your flooring dilemmas is luxury vinyl plank flooring from Shepherd's Carpets. Hi, I'm Teresa from Shepherd's Carpets and Flooring to let you know that we carry high-quality vinyl plank flooring. The flooring is waterproof and is affordable for your home. Only at Shepherd's Carpets in Spanish Fork and Litchfield will you be able to get the quality flooring at a great price and help and advice to install it or use our expert installers to do it for you.
Smithfield Foods offers excellent career opportunities right here in our area. Great jobs in all phases of hog production starting at $13 an hour. Certifications to $15.75 an hour in the first year. Other non-farm positions also available. Smithfield provides a full benefit package including medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, paid time off, education reimbursement, and more. Come join the team. Visit smithfieldfoods.com/careers or call 435-387-6000. Smithfield, good food responsibly.
Legendary NBA coach Phil Jackson once said, yes, victory is sweet, but it doesn't necessarily make life any easier the next season or even the next day. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Make your kids' education a priority. Find out what you can do. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and promoting excellence in education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
You're listening to exciting high school sports action on
KSBC.
We're back here at Gatesville at Kearns High School as we have the pitching change in place. Keegan Heath now going to throw for the South Sevier Rams. He comes in from center field. He's got a full 110 he can go today. We've had a few people question the fact that you can't throw 3 days in a row. And so he threw 35-35. Now the rule says that you have to have a mandatory 1 day rest if you throw 75 over 2 days, which is obvious because that would have meant that you threw at some point over the 35.
Yeah.
And so he has been able to maintain that. And I talked to Coach Baker beforehand. He verified with Jeff Clough from the UHSA and said, we can do this,
yes.
right? And everybody confirmed you can do it. So that's why Riker Freeman was able to throw those 40 pitches here today.
Well, and you're right. It's the 75 in 2 consecutive days.
But you have to be at 75.
But he never hit it. He was at 70. So
but if you hit 75 in 2 days, then you automatically are going to go over the 35 at some point. So
no, there's a science to it.
Went to talk to Baker. I'm not sure what the question is there.
Their stats show that he pitched 58. Their question, the official book here says he threw 70 pitches on the first day, but South Sevier's pitch count had him at 58 pitches. So now that brings into they're talking about Keegan Heath now, so they're talking about now. And so now South Sevier's bringing their books over to show. And again, we were following it till I don't know what you guys had in your account. I know that South Sevier's book had him at 58 pitches on day one when they pulled him out. And so now that's going to bring up the question here. So while they're figuring some of this out, let's go ahead and take another quick break. We'll let them confer with the official book here at Gatesville at Kearns High School on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media, the 2A Baseball State Championship.
Tired of driving your old clunker? Sahara Motors is your local Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Travelong trailer dealer and one-stop shop for new and used vehicles. Family owned and operated, and all vehicles are sold at a price your wallet will appreciate. Stop in and ask Cody Winnie about 0% 72-month financing OAC and see why so many people choose to buy from Sahara Motors in Delta.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place. Car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
Call Corey Sorensen in Ridgefield at 896-4471 or Sina Rasmussen in Salina at 529-7471 for Sorensen Levitt Insurance.
Just a reminder, Albee Lumber in Manti and Monroe custom manufactures trusses to order. Give them a call if you need a quote on trusses for your building project, large or small. Albee has architectural shingles on sale, plus great deals on Trex decking. Need power tools? Albee Lumber has a full line of power tools at great prices right now. Come in and check the sale items with new deals every week at Albee Lumber in Manti and Monroe, where the wood is good and so is the hardware.
Your connection for high school sports.
KSBC.
Well, they'll let him pitch. Wade Ingram, one of the assistant coaches for South Sevier, I just told you in the break, he keeps a meticulous book. And he came through, showed he threw 57 pitches. They agreed that is the case, so they will let Keegan Heath throw, and he's got a full 110 today. Wisely, though, South Sevier was smart. They sent somebody down to the bullpen while they were checking, just in case they weren't going to have he'd be able to have Heath pitch.
Well, and, Coach Townsend shows you the sportsmanship that he's got there for Parowan. He comes over and he's like, no, I trust you. We're fine. Which, hey, if there's a chance, the other team. But Coach Townsend, no. He wants to win. He's going to win it the right way. And
Don't want any asterisks.
Yeah. No, he's going to trust the other team. And so, and that's what you like to see. That's the one argument that a lot of people have had with the pitch count rule is they feel like you're not getting the team's best pitchers when it comes to the state championship game. You're seeing, 5, 6, 7, 8, way down the line. You're not seeing the number ones or the number twos going against each other. And, that's just the way it is. And so you got to play through it.
The last thing you want to see is the protest process, because that'll take days to determine, So that ain't something that's going to be determined right here on the ball field today.
So he'll come into the 2-2 count to Shaden Benson and 2 outs. Runner on second for Parowan in a 2-1 ball game, 2A state championship, top of the second inning. Heath will work from the stretch. Ingram sets up behind the dish. Here's the 2-2 delivery from Heath to Benson. Swung on high, pop up to the left side, foul and out of play as Benson battles to stay alive.
Yeah, I think if I'm Heath, I'm not going to throw that pitch again. I'm going to stick with the curveball. You got first base open still. Don't give Benson anything he can really extend the hands on.
Heath again comes set. Look over at Yardley at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Misses up and away. Ball 3 and a full count to Shaden Benson.
Yeah, and that's okay. You got, like I say, first base open. You got good hitters on deck and in the hole, but at the same time, you don't want to just give in right here to Benson, probably the best hitter on this team.
Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Benson tried to get time, didn't get it, and fouls it off down the left field line to stay alive.
Yeah, and it shows you the headsy player that Benson is. He calls time, umpire didn't give it, and so he has to hurry and put his hand back on the bat and foul that one off because he's putting his hand up, trying to get time.
It'll be the 8th pitch he's seen from the two combined pitchers, Freeman and Heath.
Here's now the payoff pitch from Heath. In the dirt, ball 4, and Benson will draw the 2-out walks. Runners at first and second now for Parowan, and Christian Bost coming to the plate. Bost will come up.
Yeah, we've seen, both these two teams, a couple times. They've seen each other once on this specific field. The only difference was Parowan was in a different uniform last time. This is their third. They got a uniform per day.
They had the Army green,
No, that was the first day.
Yellow, blue, and yellow yesterday.
Christian Bost stands in on the right side as Heath works from the stretch. 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. A big swing from Bost.
Yeah, he was looking out in the bullpen on that one as Heath put that one down and out, and he didn't see it.
Bost has had 3 home runs to go along with his .382 batting average.
Keegan Heath's got to take note on that pitch, though. He pulled off that, keep that ball on the outside part of the plate.
Runners take their lead. The 0-1 from Heath. In the dirt outside. Good stab by Peyton Ingram to hold the runners. Ball 1.
Yeah, Ingram did a really good job because he had to slide almost into that other batter's box and backhand that one.
Trevin Yardley, probably the fastest ball player on the Parowan team.
Yeah, hit to the outfield. He's going to score. 1-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. The pitch from Heath. Swung on. Line drive into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Northrop over to cut it off in center. It gets through him. That goes to the wall. Benson will come around to score. Parowan's back in front. Heading for third is Boston. He will come in standing up as Parowan goes back up 3-2 here on the top of the second inning.
Yeah, you just got to get around if you're Northrop out there in center field and go down to a knee if you have to, but you can't let the ball get past you, and that one does, and gets an extra run in because of it. Now you got another runner 90 feet away.
So RBI single is what that'll be ruled for Christian Bost. And then another run comes in, and he moves it to third on the air. Second error of the game on South Sevier. Brings Jace Little to the plate now for Parowan. Heath with the runner on third will work from the windup. First pitch to Little. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Yeah, that's a good-looking pitch right there, and Heath's got to stick with that. I mean, Parowan's a lot like South Sevier. If you sit and just throw them fastballs, they're going to make you pay.
Jace Little, 414 average to go with 5 home runs.
0-1 curveball, strike two. So an 0-2 count.
Yeah, no reason to throw anything different.
So maybe just a little farther outside and down.
The 0-2 curveball. Able to foul that one off the handle. Stay alive.
Late recognition by Little on that one. I might come with the heater up and in.
Coach Baker has a question for the home plate umpire. So we didn't mention all the defensive changes when Heath came in to pitch. They brought in Payson Mitchell to play second base, and Riley Barney went out to left field for South Sevier. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three, and Little will go down swinging for the third out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Keegan Heath. But Parowan's back in front. They get 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 error committed by South Sevier in the process, and 1 runner left on base through 1.5 innings of play. Parowan 3, South Sevier 2 in the 2A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Parowan on the second, they got 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base.
Let's recognize some more V6 sponsors. Jones Paint and Glass has high-quality paint brands, including designer favorite Benjamin Moore at affordable prices. Visit their design experts in Vernal or Roosevelt to find the right color and paint for your next project. And Larson Haslam Dental in Roosevelt has the latest dental technology and offers same-day crowns. Dr. Jake Richardson is accepting new patients. Call 722-0101 to schedule your appointment.
To the bottom of the second inning we go here in Kearns at Gates Field. 3-2, Parowan leads South Sevier in the 2A state championship, and South Sevier brings the 8-9-1 batters to the plate this inning. Tyson Robb, Hagan Morrell, and Riley Barney. If we get to the fourth batter, that will be Ridge Tebbs. First pitch from Matt Townsend to Robb, called strike one. Curveball, called strike two.
Yeah, we saw Tyson Robb actually come in and do a little bit of the pitching duties. Yesterday, but he's just
yesterday. Yeah, I guess it was yesterday.
He normally plays that in that DH kind of spot, but
0-2 pitch misses low for ball, 1-1-2 count.
He wasn't in there yesterday, but he came in and pitched, and he's back in that DH role today.
Stands back into the right side, does Robb. The 1-2 from Townsend. Curveball swung on, ground ball to the left side. Little backs up, fields the high hop. Throw to first is in time for the 5-3 ground out and the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good stretch that time from Luke Miller at first base. Little sometimes lets that ball get in on him, and gives you, if you can get down the line, you're going to have a chance. But really good stretch from the first baseman, Luke Miller.
That brings Hagen Morrell to the plate, hitting out of the left side, and he has had a big season, a big state tournament for South Sevier.
352, one home run for Hagen, lone senior. We've talked about the lone wolf.
Fouls off the curveball, strike one.
In my opinion, he's that spark plug that just really gets things going for this team. And he does it, he's just a high energy guy, does it at the plate, he does it on the base pass. He runs down a lot of fly balls that most people wouldn't get to.
0-1 pitch, swung on again, fouled to the right side. Strike two and an 0-2 count.
He's tracking the curveball okay. He's just getting up on top of it.
So an 0-2 count. Bost relays the sign from the dugout to Townsend. From the windup, the 0-2 to Morrell. And misses up and away, ball one.
The other thing about Morrell is he's a tough out. I mean, he'll do whatever it takes to slap the ball, to punch it, to pull it, whatever it takes, but a really tough out at the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes here, nobody on base. Bottom 2, 3-2, Parowan leads South Sevier in the 2A state title. Here's the 1-2 from Townsend. Way upstairs for ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
I ain't going to mention it, that thing on the pole out there.
2-2 pitch. Curveball swung on. Fouled back into the net as Morrell stays alive in the at-bat. Morrell back in on the left side as Townsend works in the windup. Again, the 2-2 delivery. That hits him. So Morrell puts the tying run on base for South Sevier with the hit by pitch. That got a midsection.
Yeah, it did.
Like right in front.
Yeah, the ball just kind of, right-handed coming from Townsend, just kept sliding across the plate towards Morrell in that left-handed box and got him. But
he's not rubbing it.
He's a tough kid. The other thing too is he's a heck of a base runner, and I'm sure anything ball and dirt, you'll see him go. You might even just see him try to straight still.
Freebies are still 5-3 in favor of South Sevier, and then you got the 1-run deficit.
Riley Barney now stands in on the right side for the Rams of South Sevier.
Riley
First pitch from Townsend.
472.
Third ball misses up and in, ball one. He reached on an error in his first at-bat, did Barney. And a ground ball to the third baseman.
And scored.
Morrell step off the bag at first. As Townsend takes the rubber, he takes a few steps. Here's the 1-0 to Barney. Morrell takes off, got a great jump. Boss throw down to second is not in time. Morrell got a great jump and still second base to get in scoring position.
Yeah, and Boss has a good arm, but he had a good jump, he had a good lead, and then it was a curveball at that. But either way, even on a fastball, you're not going to get Hagen Morrell right there.
Yeah, that stolen base is on Townsend.
Yep.
Because he left. He got a great jump on him. 2-0 count. Is that one? I believe it was 2-0. Did he call that one a strike? I thought that was up and in.
Called it the strike.
All right, 1-1 count.
Like you, though, I thought it was up and in.
Pitch from Townsend. Curveball swung on, high fly ball to left center field. Benson going back. Hall coming over, and Benson will make the play. Morrell tagging, and he's going to take third as he moves up 90 feet. And 2 outs in the inning on the F8 for Riley Barney.
Yeah, and that's really good base running right there. Hagen Morrell, that 90 feet it's really important because now a ball that gets away is going to be a run, and it's going to force Townsend to try to throw a good pitch here because he doesn't want to throw a ball in the dirt or something that's going to get away from Boston. So Rich Debs is going to get a pitch to hit and a chance to drive in a run right here and tie this game up.
No, South Sevier's second run was a wild pitch.
Yeah, yep, Keegan Heath coming in.
And Morrell's going to have good speed from third as well. Teb stands on the right side. Townsend now going to work from the windup. First pitch to Tebs. Way outside, and Bost had to go into
that
full cartwheel to catch that.
Same kind of pitch that Keegan Heath scored on, too, is that fastball just way wide. But that time, Bost is able to get out there and snag it.
So 1-0 count. Pitch from Townsend. Curveball in the dirt. Good block by Boss. 2-0. Hitters count now for Ridge Tebbs.
Ridge Tebbs came in with that .432 batting average. .432 only gets him the fourth best batting average on the ball club.
We talked about it. They hit. There's the 2-0. Fastball. Misses away. Ball 3 and a 3-0 count. Tebbs back in on the right side with Keegan Heath standing on deck. 2 outs. Tying run at third base here in the bottom of the second inning. 2A state championship. Townsend from the windup. 3-0 pitch. Curveball. Drops in for a called strike 1. The 3-1 hitters count for Tebbs.
How many pitchers do you see throw 3-0 curveballs to get a strike?
Yeah. Outfield not playing too deep on Tebbs. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This is low for ball 4, so he draws the walk. Runners on the corners now for Sal Sevier. And Keegan Heath coming to the plate.
Yeah, and Heath got the single his first time up.
You mentioned he's what, 350, right around there, Willie?
Keegan Heath, 389.
389.
One home
so
run.
He's not over that 400 mark as you talk about the other 4 or 5 guys that are. But I think most people would think he's probably the most dangerous bat in the lineup.
Yeah,
he does have a home run, so.
Well, so far in this tournament, he's been that type of hitter, yeah.
He's a smart ball player.
Heath stands on the right side as Townsend sets. Tebbs takes off, got a great jump, line drive, one hop through the glove of Yardley at short, and that will bring in Hagan Morrell. Keegan Heath hit it on a rope. Yardley couldn't reel it in with the backhand stab.
You know, that ball was hit hard, too, and it makes you wonder, too, if Ridge Tebbs going, if,
eye off.
Yeah, Yardley wasn't maybe hesitating, thinking he's got to get to second base, then realizing he can't and staying home, but he tried to backhand that one, unable to get it.
So a 3-3 ball game. Tate Brown coming to plate. He flew out to center fielder Shaden Benson his first time out.
Number 10, Tate Brown.
So they went ahead and ruled that one a hit.
I agree on that one.
It was hit hard.
So an RBI single for Heath.
It took a little English on it when it hit the dirt.
First pitch to Brown. He swings at one on the dirt, strike 1.
Too anxious.
Yeah, Tate Brown wanted that curveball looked pretty good till the bottom fell out of it, and he swung right over the top.
Tebbs at second, Heath at first. The 0-1 to Brown. There's a curveball, and he misses that one, strike at 2. Called strike, I should say. Didn't swing it down.
No, Tate.
So an 0-2 count. The pitch from Townsend to Brown. Swung on, ground ball, sharp to the right side, foul as Brown stays alive.
We had one of those yesterday, Willie, in this same game, kind of questionable. Benson hits that one down the first base line. Neither umpire really called it fair or foul, and a lot of controversy over that one.
Yeah, well, one team is trying to say it's got to hit fair. It doesn't. It's just got to go fair before it passes first base. They were pretty adamant about it. I'm trying to figure out which game they were.
0-2, line drive through the 5-6 hole. Tebbs rounding third on his way home. Hall comes up throwing, cut off by Little, and Tebbs will come in to score. Sal Sevier back in front in the second inning on the RBI single by Tate Brown going the other way.
That's a good piece of hitting down the count 0-2 to take that pitch and drive it that way, but we've seen him do that all tournament long. He knows how to hit the ball the opposite field.
But the good quick relay did hold Keegan Heath there at second base and allow him to advance to third.
So it brings Peyton Ingram to the plate now for Sal Sevier with a 4-3 lead, 2 outs and 2 on.
Peyton had a big hit his first time up.
First pitch, curveball, chopped to the left side, foul, strike 1. They had the RBI single through the 5-6 hole on a curveball. That led to Sal Sevier's first run before Heath came in to score on the wild pitch.
Well, you expect the catcher to be able to track a curveball.
Yeah,
like that,
and Ingram's another one right now that's, he's picking up right where he left off yesterday, but he's swinging a hot bat, 1 for 1 on the day.
The 0-1. Fastball misses low. Ball 1.
One thing I've noticed about Ingram, too, is he's a patient hitter. He really looks for his pitch. You don't get him chasing too often.
So a 1-1 count. Runners take their lead. 2 outs and 2 on, bottom of the second inning. Turns and throws to second, and a high throw, so it's not in time, but they had Heath off the bag quite a ways there, but the throw is a little bit offline.
Well, and Heath knows, 2 outs, I got to get a good lead and then get a good secondary, scoring on anything to the outfield.
Again, the runners take their lead. The 1-1 from Townsend. Curveball, strike 2.
Yeah, Ingram knows it, but at the same time, it's okay. It's only strike 2.
So a 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch. Then the curveball, line drive right back up the middle, through for a base hit. Takes a hop to Benson. Heath is rounding third. Benson comes up throwing. The throw is not in time as he slides in safely. Boss had stepped in front of home plate and made it so he could not apply a tag. It would have been really close had he been in that spot.
Yeah, it really was. First baseman Millett kind of got in the way right there, but if you're Boss, you got to stay back and give the ball a chance, and I think it would have been a really close play, but he's out in front, and that's why Heath was getting that big lead. He knew. But Ingram, once again, coming up big. That's two hits and 2 RBIs for him right now.
Tracking that curveball.
Yeah. Back-to-back RBI singles for South Sevier. They now lead at 5-3 here in the bottom of the second. Biggs Northrup stands in on the right side for the Rams. First pitch from Townsend. This is low, ball 1.
Well,
the South Sevier crowd on their feet.
Yeah, the difference, Townsend, if he can get spot that ball low and away, he's all right, but he's hanging that ball up there right in the middle of the strike zone.
Runners again take their lead. The 1-0 from Townsend. On the inside edge for a called strike, 1 and a 1-1 count.
That ball has to do more than just spin up there. You got to be able to hit a spot.
Well, South Sevier coming in the number 1 RPI team, the best record in 2A baseball, and primarily it's because they hit the baseball, they score lots of runs.
1-1, curveball, swing and a miss, strike 2.
He's tracking it. He's tried to do a little too much with it, trying to pull that thing, pulled off a little bit.
So a 1-2 count with 2 outs. 2 on here for South Sevier. They've done the damage with 2 outs. A walk and 3 straight hits since there were 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. Curveball hit him in the foot. So Biggs Northrup will head to first base as the bases are loaded now for Canyon Okerlund. Coach Townsend's out of the dugout saying that he stuck his foot out there. He kind of just spun with his foot in the air.
He put his foot out.
I didn't think he put his foot out. Yeah, he lifted it up. And they're saying he can't put it out there, but I would agree with the umpire that he just lifted it up and didn't stick it out.
Yeah.
So that moves Brown to third, Ingram to second, and Northrup at first. He spun and just had the foot in the air.
Well, and same thing. It's in the batter's box. Yeah. We had an earlier one. The umpire says, no, you're staying here. But same thing when it's a ball in the batter's box. It's different when it's over the plate.
So that'll bring Canyon Okerlund to the plate as the Rams will bring the 9th batter of the inning. The South Sevier Rams, 9th batter of the inning, to the plate. Okerlund in on the right side. Townsend will work from the windup. First pitch, curveball. Low and away, ball 1.
Okerlund trying to redeem himself right here. Gets a chance to get a hit and a couple RBIs. He'll forget about that strikeout.
1-0 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 2.
9th hitter in the inning here. Bat around.
So 2-0 hitters count to Okerlund. Runners take their lead. Hitters count here for the South Sevier left fielder. He's going to call time, and it's awarded.
That's the important part there. It's awarded. You can't raise your hand and step out, or you're going to pay the consequences.
Called left field, the third baseman for South Sevier. 2-0 pitch, curveball, strike one. So 2-1 count.
That curveball was on the outside portion there, spinning and down the downward movement. He's left a couple up that just kind of spun and hung.
Well, and if you're Canyon Okerlund, 2-0 right there with loaded bases, 2 outs, you got to take that pitch for sure.
2-1. That one got away from Townsend. A great acrobatic jump by Christian Boss to stop it from going to the backstop. Ball 3 and a 3-1 count now to Okerlund.
Yeah. Boss going to go out and talk to Townsend now.
Yeah, and I think you got to give Canyon Okerlund the take sign right here. He's got to throw 2 strikes, make him throw one right here.
Walks a run.
Yes, it is.
Boss heads back behind the dish.
So the freebies are even now.
Two hit batsmen and a walk in this inning. Townsend from the windup. 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the 3-1 to Okerlund. Misses outside for ball 4, and that'll drive in a run. An RBI base on balls for Canyon Okerlund as Tate Brown scores from third. Ingram moves up to third. Northrop goes to second, and Okerlund stands at first. 6-3 South Sevier.
The designated hitter, number 4.
Brings Tyson Robb to the plate. He led the inning off with a ground out to third. All the runs have come in since 2 outs this inning. First pitch from Townsend. Curveball, hit him in the butt.
It was courtesy of a base on balls that started it with 2 outs.
Yes, it was. So an RBI hit by pitch for Tyson Robb as Ingram scores. Northrop goes to third, Okerlund to second, and Robb stands at first. And Coach Townsend's out of the dugout. Looks like he's going to make a change here.
Well, he's got a ball in his hand, so he's going to have to. When he comes to the mound with a ball in his hand, he's going to have to make the change.
So a pitching change coming, I believe, here for the Parowan Rams as they visit on the mound. They're talking about the situation here right now. Haven't made.
No, I'm not sure he's going to pull him, to be honest, but
I thought if you came to the mound with baseball, you had to make the change.
I think it was just the ball that bounced over here.
Oh, okay. He comes and hands it to the.
So they will head back to the positions. Going to leave Matt Townsend in with Hagen Morrell coming to the plate.
So when they discuss throwing the ball up and slapping it, and the ball's fault. I get chippy.
It is. It didn't break the way it was supposed to.
7-3 your score. South Sevier lead. They've plated 5 in this inning, all with 2 outs. And Hagen Morrell, the 10th batter of the inning, the 11th batter of the inning, stands in on the left side.
And he kind of got this going with the hit by pitch.
First pitch from Townsend, curveball on the outside edge, strike one.
No, I think Coach Townsend just went out there and said, compete. We got to have you. We'll get someone warm, but we're running out of pitchers here. You got to get out there and just compete and try to fire up the infield. And
0-1. Curveball fouled to the left side, strike 2 and an 0-2 count.
Well, there hadn't been a game in the state tournament here in this location that 3 runs have won the ball game.
Yeah, lots of baseball. So, good job going out there and just settling down his pitcher, getting the infield rallied up, getting him going behind him.
Yeah, taking somebody down there.
0-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Bost to hold Northrop at third. And a 1-2 count.
He didn't catch a number. Too far away for me.
Base is still loaded for South Sevier here in the bottom of the second inning. They lead at 7-3. A 1-2 count to Morrell with 2 outs. Runners take their lead. Townsend working from the windup. Next pitch to Morrell. Curveball misses up. Ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
It's a good thing I missed up because O'Hagan was tracking that one. He had it cocked, ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, the umpire's telling Boss, don't show me up right here because Boss come out of the stance too, still shaking his hand. And players got to be smart about it, but umpires too just need to just not worry about it.
2-2 pitch, fouled.
They got spoiled in the last ball game when that umpire was calling not where the ball comes to the strike zone, but where the catcher was catching it, so.
Foul ball there to stay alive for Morrell. Count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
I can't complain about this guy's strike zone yet. But he's on notice. I'm watching.
Here's the pitch from Townsend. Called strike 3 on the inside edge of the fastball. Morrell will go down looking for the third out of the inning and the second strikeout of the game for Matt Townsend. But South Sevier regains the lead and they add to it as they score 5 runs in the inning. They do so on 3 hits in the inning. No errors committed by Parowan and 3 runners left on base through 2 innings of play. It is South Sevier 7, Parowan 3 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to BarneyJobs.com. That's BarneyJobs.com.
Barrett's Foodtown has been your hometown grocer since 1935, earning your business every day with its fast, friendly, and convenient services. Barrett's meat department is second to none. You don't have to call someone out of the back room to get that special cut of meat you desire and deserve. You don't have to play card games or put up with troublesome gimmicks. You save money every time you shop Barrett's Foodtown. Barrett's Foodtown supports local schools and sporting events. Shop Barrett's Foodtown in Salina or click on barrettsfoodtown.com or follow Barrett's on Facebook.
You're listening to Utah's sports leader,
KSBC.
Okay, coverage today for V6 Media is sponsored in part by State Representative Christine Watkins. She's a strong rural advocate for oil and gas, small businesses, education, and the Second Amendment. And the Uinta Basin Healthcare's mission is caring for our communities through access to compassionate quality health care and investing in those that we serve.
Top of the third inning we go. South Sevier leading Parowan in the 2A state championship 7-3, and Parowan will bring the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to the plate. Wyatt Hall, Dawson Robb, and Hunter Johnson. If we get to the fourth batter, that'll be Luke Millett for the Parowan Rams, facing Keegan Heath of South Sevier.
So Wyatt Hall came to the ball game today hitting .339.
First pitch from Heath. Curveball. Top of the zone, strike 1. Parowan doesn't like it. 0-1 count. And home plate umpire gives a warning to the Parowan dugout. Came from one of the assistant coaches in the dugout.
Pitching coach.
There's the 0-1 from Heath. Misses low there. Ball 1. The 1-1 count.
Well, wind has shifted now, coming out of the north. Earlier in the day, it was in the south.
1-1 pitch. Well, for a moment, when you mentioned that thing hanging out there, when you didn't say anything about it, it was just not blowing at all, really.
Yeah.
And
it's prettier that way, so.
2-1 count. The pitch from Heath. Misses low, ball 3, and a hitter's count now for Wyatt Hall.
Now you know why I didn't mention it. Good news is it's got to come right from there to get us in here.
3-1, ground ball to the left side. Snared by Oakland at third. Throw to first is in time. Great play by the freshman third baseman. A 5-3 ground out for Wyatt Hall.
Yeah, not only did he have to go to the shortstop side and pick that up and then just kind of set and throw in one quick motion and threw a strike to take Brown there at first base.
Well, I'll tell you what, South Sevier's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. You know, right there it shows it with Canyon Oakland making that play, but the crowd, the dugout, everybody's just into it, and South Sevier's got a little bit of swagger.
Brings Dawson Robb to the plate. First pitch called strike 1.
Looking down there, watching the first base coach down there, they kind of jawing at each other. I think he thought maybe he pulled the foot or that he was there.
The 0-1 pitch. That one got away from Heath. Right back here next to V6.
Well, and it's easy to get frustrated and then take yourself out of the game, too. You get worried about umpires and balls and strikes and whatever else, and you just got to continue to play.
Pitch it a 1-1 count.
Yeah.
Pitch from Heath. Swinging a foul tip. Strike 2 to Dawson Robb. So now a 1-2 count.
Ken from V6 over here trying to worry me now. He's pointing out a couple holes here in the net in front of me. I was doing that.
You've seen where they've been sewed back together.
I was doing it to.
I was going to say, now I know why you put me where I did.
Robert's idea.
Robert's idea. Let's put Nolan right there.
Swung on there by Robb. High fly ball into center field. Northrop tracking it. Settles underneath and makes the catch. for out number 2 and F8 for Dawson Robb, flat to center field for the second out of the inning. We'll bring Hunter Johnson, the DH, to the plate now for Parowan.
Okay, you better be careful. I'll start making V6 jokes. Wow, I could have had a V6.
First pitch, blowing in, ball 1.
Good spot, though.
Well, at South Sevier, too, we talk about pitching, and, we talk about their hitting, but you look at the pitching, too. They were able to have their 1-2 for this game right here, which is huge.
Yes, it is. Next one misses high and tight for ball 2 and a 2-0 hitters count to Johnson. Johnson struck out swinging in the first inning to end the first inning. So 0 for 1 in the game. The 2-0 from Heath.
There you go.
High and tight again, ball 3.
Peyton asked where that was at. Umpire told him it was up.
There's the 3-0. Almost the same spot, but a called strike this time. 3-1 count.
And then you mentioned the difference was the 3-0 count. Get all automatic.
So hitters count here. Right fielder moving over toward the line is Hagen Morrell. 3-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball to the right side, and it's going to get through the 3-4 hole. Morrell charging quickly and right, gets it in. But a 2-out single for Hunter Johnson for Parowan.
Good piece of hit, and ball was down and away. He just went with it. Shot it through the hole there between the second baseman and first baseman.
So that will bring Luke Millett to the plate now for Parowan.
Yeah, Luke got caught looking on strike 3 his first time up.
He's a .263 hitter. Plays good first base.
Stands it on the right side. First pitch. Just missed out, ball 1. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance as he stands back into the right side. One-0 pitch. Check swing, foul ball, strike 1.
He's like, how did I even get that on the bat right there? As he recognized that ball's kind of riding up and in, and he tried to hold off and just fouls it right off over towards the South Sevier dugout.
So a 1-1 count. Johnson at first, 2 outs in the inning. There's the 1-1 from Heath, and set a throw over to first, not in time as Johnson dives back safely.
Just a 2-step lead there for Johnson.
Heath checks the runner again. There's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, strike 2. A 1-2 count now for Luke Millett. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the third inning. Runner on first for Parowan. 7-3. South Sevier leads Parowan in the 2A state championship. Heath comes set. Here's the 1-2 to Millett. Called strike 3, and Millett will go down looking for the third out of the inning and the second strikeout of the game for Keegan Heath. Parowan gets a hit, but no runs scored. No runs on 1 hit, no errors by South Sevier, and 1 runner left on base through 2.5. It is South Sevier 7, Parowan 3 in the 2A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Parowan the third, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left.
At V6 Media, we specialize in helping businesses tell their stories with powerful and engaging video. But telling your story is just the starting point. Telling it to the right people in the right place is how you make it count. Our team can help. By delivering your ad in places like Google, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, we'll make sure that your business is being seen. Your business has a story to tell. Let us help.
KSBC.
Okay, Moon Lake Electric is locally owned association with over 83 years of providing dependable and affordable electric service to its membership. Its well-trained workforce of 90 employees and its state-of-the-art electrical system has set a standard of excellence in the electric utility industry. So heads up out there in the Uinta Basin. Let's give these sponsors some of your, or all of your business.
Top of the order for South Sevier. And it kind of an interesting way this just happened. Townsend threw too many. He threw all 8 pitches, and they never threw it down. And so the umpire would not let him do the throwdown, and they were trying to figure out why, but there was no throwdown here.
That would have been number 9.
Yeah. They throw 8. First pitch to Riley Barney, missed behind him for a 1-0 count. Next pitch from Townsend. Curveball swung on. Line drive caught by Jace Little to the left side. And out number 1 in L5 for Barney as he lined up the third for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Ridge Tebbs, followed by Keegan Heath. And if we get to the fourth bat of this inning, it'll be Tate Brown.
So the L5, like we talked about, every position in the ballpark has a number. Pitcher 1, catcher 2. First to third is 3, 4, 5. Shortstop 6. 7, 8, and 9 left to right. Out in the outfield, the L5 is lined out to the third baseman, who occupies that number 5 position.
Tebb stands in on the right side. First pitch swinging. Fly ball to left center field. Benson coming in. Dives. Makes the catch. What a grab by Shaden Benson for out number 2. Diving forward. A stab in the air.
Yeah, Benson just showing what kind of a baseball player and athlete he is.
Well, if he's 6'6", he misses that one. Good thing he's 6'7".
Yeah. There's only a few 6'7" outfielders. Aaron Judge being one.
Benson makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Shaden's going to pack on some muscle to get in that audience.
Oh, yeah.
First pitch to Heath. So he stands on the right side, is in the dirt, ball 1. He's 2 for 2 in the game, a pair of singles, an RBI, and a run scored.
He comes up with a 7-3 lead. He's the pitcher record right now for the South Sevier Rams. Got him a 4-run cushion.
One-0. Ground ball to the left side. Yardley there, fields it cleanly. Throw to first is in time for the 6-3 ground out and the third out of the inning. This time Townsend sits him down and over. 1, 2, 3 they go. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base through 3. In the 2A state championship at South Sevier 7, Parowan 3 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is proud to be a part of Utah's rural communities and loves to cheer on the youth of rural Utah. We take great pride in helping shape the quality of life by offering full engineering and architectural services, municipal and private business software solutions, and community involvement. Jones and DeMille is your go-to resource for planning, funding, designing, and infrastructure needs. We strive to serve with a professional, personalized rural touch to provide value that reaches beyond the project. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life together.
We sell more, so you pay less. Jorgensen Automotive Group, the #1 volume dealer in San Pete and Sevier counties. And we ain't just whistling Dixie. It's a matter of fact. You don't get to be #1 without having great deals on great cars, paying top dollar on trades, and taking great care of your customers. So that's all we do, all day long. Jorgensen Automotive Group, the #1 volume dealer in San Pete and Sevier counties. There's only one #1.
Harmon Tire in Nephi is proud to sponsor this broadcast of high school sports and wants to wish the Juab Wasps good luck. Harmon Tire, 895 North Main in Nephi, has been a family-owned business since 1973, providing Nephi and the surrounding areas with exceptional service for over 40 years. Harmon Tire specializes in tires, alignments, brakes, steering, suspension, wheel shocks, struts, and more. Stop by Harmon Tire on Main Street in Nephi or give them a call at 435-623-0720. That's Harmon Tire in Nephi. Go Wasps!
Complete coverage of local high school sports on
KSBC.
Really getting groovy down here in the pit at Gatesville at Kearns High School as we go to the top of the 4th inning in the 2A state championship. South Sevier leading Parowan 7-3, and the Parowan Rams will bring the 9 1-2 batters to play this inning. Matt Townsend, Trevin Yardley, and Shaden Benson. If we get the 4th batter, that will be Christian Bost.
I got a reason. I don't have to push no buttons or nothing other than the commercial over here, and I've done my duty there, and I don't have to track pitches. Got 2 other people here doing that, and just keep my book and watch baseball. Tell me why I ain't smiling and grooving.
First pitch to Townsend from Keegan Heath in the dirt, ball 1. Townsend's 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning. So nice play by Riley Barney going to his right with the backhand. Barney's out in the left now with Payson Mitchell at second base after the pitching change. Led us some defensive changes. Matt Townsend talking to the on-plate umpire, not sure what that would have been about.
Maybe just explaining again what happened with that no throwdown in the last warm-ups.
1-0 pitch over the top of Townsend for ball 2 and a 2-0 hitters count.
Yeah, but Keegan Heath, you still want to be, you want to save your pitch. You don't want to get too carried away. You got a 4-run cushion here with a good defense behind you.
2-0, swung on and fouled to the right side. We'll get out of play for strike one.
There's a couple guys you want to be really careful too in the lineup, but they're about to get to that portion of the lineup.
2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch to Townsend. Swung on, chopped foul to the left side. So a 2-2 count.
The ball came out of the stands at that same time.
I wish I had $1 for every one of those.
Me too. We go buy some more tacos.
Yeah.
2-2 count to Townsend as he stands back into the right side. Hagen Morrell, the right fielder, drifting in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Check swing off his wrist, and he's going to head down to first base on the hit by pitch.
Yeah, that one's going to sting a little bit. People think that hand's part of the bat. It is if you're swinging, but when you're not, you get hit. That's just a hit by pitch.
He went after it, check swing, but held off.
Yeah, freebies are even.
Coach Townsend's walking over to check on him. He's saying, hey, just go back.
Yeah. He's like, just go away, I'm fine.
Took it off that left arm, forearm area.
Must be a trainer. That should be the only person you should allow in your dugout with shorts on.
He might not even be in the dugout. He just came out of the stands, maybe.
He came out of the stands.
It is their trainer, though.
Too, yeah.
Matt says he's all right. Everybody heads back. So it'll take us to the top of the order with no outs. Here in the top of the 4th inning in the 2A state championship. South Sevier leads Parowan 7-3.
Trevin Yardley, 1-for-1 in the ball game with a double and a run scored.
I'm surprised down the right field line too. You've got some people sitting with their legs over the railing it down, and there could be a play over there too. It's in foul territory, but it's still in play.
First pitch from Heath, just outside, ball 1. Yardley's double was smoked too.
Yeah,
that's when it got over the head. Yeah,
well,
Heath.
And really, this to me is probably one of the most important innings for South Sevier defensively. Is your 9-1-2 starting right at the top. If you can get these guys out without giving up any runs and go tack on a few more, it really sets you up nicely.
1-0 pitch in the dirt outside, blocked by Ingram to hold the runner.
Yeah, and if it's not already a 4-run game, you probably see Townsend taking off and chancing that one going to second base. But, trailing 4 runs, you can't afford to make any base running errors.
Throw over to first by Heath, not in time as Townsend easily dives back safely.
No BRBs.
You better explain what a BRB is.
Base running blunder.
That's right.
You said it. I'm just
to the kids listening, that's just be right back.
Just making it up. Yeah, I don't know the young lingo.
2-0 pitch misses high for ball 3 and a 3-0 count now to Yardley.
Digital lingo, Facebook lingo, whatever you call it, social media lingo. I know LOL.
So a 3-0 count as Townsend takes the lead at first. About a 2.5-step lead.
I know IYKYK.
Squares the bunt, pulls it back, watches strike 1 go by for the 3-1 count. Still a hitter's count here for Yardley as he takes the sign from Coach Townsend on the third base line. It's a 3-1 pitch. This is low for ball 4, so a hit by pitch and a walk for the first 2 batters of the inning. And the most dangerous hitter in the lineup, Shaden Benson, coming to the plate for Parowan.
And South Sevier just takes back the freebie lead. by 1.
Coach Brown out of the dugout for South Sevier. He's going to go visit with Keegan Heath in the infield. So if you're Coach Brown here, Nolan, what are you telling your team in this moment?
Well, definitely telling them right here that you don't want to just, groove onto Benson, but at the same time, you got to hit your spots. You got to throw strikes defensively. We got a 4-run lead. Even if Benson does get a hold of one, hit one out, you're still up 1 run. So the biggest thing is just the walks and you're tacking on pitch count, things like that. I think it's just basically, hey, field your position. Let's get an out. You don't have to do anything special. And telling Keegan, hey, trust your defense. Trust your stuff. Don't worry about being too good against these guys.
Benson comes in with a .534 average to go along with 7 home runs. So you do have to be careful, but it's just like you said. You gotta respect your own abilities.
Benson stands into the left side as Heath comes set. Runners at first and second, no outs. Top of the 4th inning. First pitch to Benson. This is low, ball 1.
And, that's a good pitch right there. If you're going to miss, same thing. You want to miss there, but you're going to challenge Benson, too. Make him hit it the other way.
There's the 1-0 from Heath. Foul tip, strike 1. Benson's 0 for 1 in the game. Flew out to center field in the 1st inning and then walked and scored in the 2nd inning.
Well, he's played a great center field out there, too. He took away a hit, almost threw out a runner at home.
1-1 count as he stands back in. Pitch from Heath. This is upstairs for ball 2 and a 2-1 count.
Tell them kids out on the old scoreboard they better be well. They got a fence in front of them, so they're okay. But the people down that right field line,
that seems to kind of be a tourist attraction out there.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1 pitch now from Heath to Benson. Thought about it. Called strike 2 as he held off. 2-2 count. Top of the zone on the outside edge.
Yeah, and you got to remember he's 6'7", so where that might not been a strike to somebody that's 5'2", 5'3".
Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to the left side. Gets through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. They're going to wave Townsend around. Nope, they hold him up as Riley Barney came up ready to throw from left field. That loads the bases with the single by Shaden Benson. And the Christian Boss will come up with still no outs. And 3 on. Brace Brindley for South Sevier heads down to the bullpen. Trevin Yardley at second, Townsend at third, and Benson at first.
That's just a good piece of hit. As Benson, he didn't like the called second strike, and that pitch was similar, but he took the outside pitch and just slapped it in the 5-6 hole. But really, nothing hurt either. Heath gets a chance to come out of the windup now and challenge Boss, who's 1 for 2 on the day.
382 batting average and 3 home runs. Boy, give a little chin music there.
High and tight for ball 1. Reached on an error and a bunt attempt in the 1st inning, and then have the RBI single to right in the 2nd inning.
Nobody out.
1-0 pitch. Curveball. This is up. Ball 2. Pulled in the corners has South Sevier. They've left the middle infield at double play depth. Well, they pulled in Brown. Okerlund still staying maybe even with the bag. There's the 2-0 to Bost. It's on the inside edge, strike 1. Keegan Heath, one of those athletes that doesn't really get rattled. Doesn't really worry about too many things. There's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled to the screen, strike 2 and a 2-2 count.
Oh, and he's confident out there on the mound, and right from the get-go, Coach Baker said, going against Kanab, we're going to go with Heath. He's been our guy. You got to try to win this one, and he's someone that they've relied on all year long.
2-2, swung on, line drive into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Northrop over to cut it off. That scores 1, make it 2 as Yardley comes in to score. It's a 2-run single, and it's a 2-run ball game now here in the 2A state championship with still no outs in the top of the 4th inning. Townsend from third. Yardley comes in from second. Benson goes first to third on the play. And standing safely at first is Christian Bost.
Yeah, Bost was thinking, hey, if they're not going to pay attention, I'll sneak down to second base. But then he kind of looked over at him, and Ridge moved up towards second base.
So runners in the corner, still no outs, and Jace Little coming up for Parowan with the tying run on base here in the top of the fourth inning. Heath comes set. First pitch, just missed outside, ball one.
You know, and you can live with a base hit and them earning it like that, but when you hit a batter and then you walk a batter and then you start giving those singles and doubles, and that's really when it starts to hurt you.
That was a nice location to a guy that likes to swing the big bat.
There's the 1-0 in the dirt, blocked by Ingram. Bost will take off though with the first and third situation. He moves up the bag.
Well, the time runs at second base, nobody out.
2-0 count to Little.
We are in the top of the fourth.
Still no outs. Here's the pitch from Heath. This is low for ball three and a 3-0 count. So yeah, as you said, hit by pitch, then the walk, then back-to-back singles. And now a 3-0 count here to Little. Got Brace Brindley down in the bullpen warming up this South Sevier. There's the 3-0 to Little. On the inside edge, strike one.
Yeah, and Heath's just got to trust himself. You're going to give up a few hits here and there. It's those walks and hit batters. You just can't do it.
Well, a walk to this guy is not a bad thing either.
No, not with first base open, but there is no out still.
3-1, line drive, foul down the third base line for strike two. Hit hard between Benson and Townsend, Coach Townsend.
But you feel the bases with him. You got the force out everywhere. Turn two, 1-run score.
Yeah, Wyatt Hall on deck. 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch.
Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch from Heath. In the dirt, about 7 feet in front of home plate. Ball four. Loads the bases. There's still no outs. They've already made one visit to the mound.
The left fielder, number 28.
And brings Wyatt Hall up now for Parowan. As you mentioned, Hall's 0 for 1, a ground out to third, and hit by pitch. First pitch he sees here is way high into the backstop, and Benson must not have seen where that one went, as he did not come home on that one. And
well, he's seen some of them bounce back into the field as well. So.
Yeah, that was just below the cement barrier. It hit the metal that worked.
Yeah.
Standing here next to him, it bounced down the first base line right towards the South Sevier dugout.
Yeah, and Benson's, he knows he missed one right there. He should have been down the line scoring, and then everyone else moves up 90 feet too, but South Sevier catches a break right there.
1-0 pitch. South Sevier crowd wants to know where that one was at for ball two and a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and the scoreboard is showing 1-1.
2-0. Low part of the zone for strike one and a 2-1 count. And the field umpire is going to check it as Coach Townsend's come out saying, hey, what's the count? Scoreboard shows 1-2, but it should be 2-1. That is correct. 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Base is still loaded here for Parowan. The 2-1 from Heath. Swung on, line drive, back up the middle of the center field for another base hit. That'll score Benson. Coming around his boss, he slipped and fell down. And South Sevier doesn't know it. He's going to cover the score. South Sevier had no idea he had fallen down. And they just lazily threw the ball into the infield, and it's a tie ball game. A 2-run single for Wyatt Hall.
Tossing into second base, and the second baseman then just tosses the shortstop, Rich Tebbs, 10 feet away.
So we got a tie ball game.
Lost was still 50 feet away from home when the ball was in the infield, and they did not know it. So tied at 7.
And he didn't know what to do either, Robert. He looked at third. Should I get back to third? And then, well, chances are, let's just go home, and it worked out.
Dawson Robb comes up now for Parowan in a tie ball game. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one.
Where you need to get these next three.
I really felt like, too, still, South Sevier looking for that first out, but this was the key inning.
Yeah. Next pitch from Heath, swing and a miss, strike two. Rob is over two, he struck out and flew out to center.
And Keegan Heath out there throwing strikes. He did give up the hit by pitch, and he's walked a couple of guys, but then he's throwing too good of pitches. He's got to be able to locate that curveball and get that going again, so these Parowan hitters can't just sit on the fastball.
We saw that against Gunnison in the playoff round.
0-2, swing and a miss, strike three, and Rob will go down swinging for the first out of the inning, third strikeout of the game for Keegan Heath. That brings Hunter Johnson to the plate now for Parowan. 2A baseball state championship, top of the fourth. We're tied at 7.
Hunter Johnson's had a good game earlier against Kanab, come up with a big hit. So far he's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout.
First pitch swinging, ground ball, one hop, knocked down by Mitchell. The flip to second is in time. Throw to first is in time for the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. But Parowan has come back to tie it. They get 4 runs in the inning. They do so on 3 hits. No errors by South Sevier and 1 runner left on base through 3.5 innings of play. It is Parowan 7, South Sevier 7 in the 2A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora have a non-stop tractor workhorse, just what you need for a non-stop world. Power Star tractors from New Holland provide unprecedented power, comfort, and performance in a utility tractor so you can tackle grounds, municipal or farm tasks with ease. Choose from 6 models from 64 to 117 engine horsepower with an open-air ROPS platform or spacious Vision View cab. Learn more about the Power Star family of tractors. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora today.
Come find your trail in Utah's Trail Country.
Here in Sevier County, we have a trail for everyone, from hiking to biking to rafting and more.
Hike to 100 Hands Cave and stay overnight in a pit house at the Fremont Indian State Park.
Or kill it on the Kilnet Trail, part of our new mountain bike trail system above Richville.
Raft the rapids past the Big Rock Canyon Mountain.
Or fish your heart out at Fish Lake.
Whatever it may be, we have a trail for you.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Utah's Trail Country and come find your trail in Sevier County.
We've been spending a lot more time in our homes and with our families. This creates wear and tear on our floors. One solution to your flooring dilemmas is luxury vinyl plank flooring from Shepherd's Carpets. Hi, I'm Teresa from Shepherd's Carpets and Flooring to let you know that we carry high quality vinyl plank flooring. The flooring is waterproof and is affordable for your home. Only at Shepherd's Carpets in Spanish Fork and Richfield will you be able to get the quality flooring at a great price and help and advice to install it, or use our expert installers to do it for you.
Your source for high school sports.
KSBC.
We're all tied up in the 2A state championship as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning with South Sevier and Parowan knotted up at 7 here at Gatesfield on the campus of Kearns High School. And for South Sevier, they will bring the 4, 5, and 6 batters to the plate this inning. Tate Brown, Peyton Ingram, and Biggs Northrop. If we get to the 4th batter, that will be Kenyon Okerlund. Matt Townsend still working on the mound for Parowan. First pitch to Brown. Third ball dropped off the table, ball 1 for the 1-0 count.
South Sevier's just going to have to keep adding runs. You know, they let Parowan come back with 4 runs to tie it, but same thing. They've just got to out-hit the Parowan Rams if they want to be state champions.
1-0 pitch drops off the table for ball 2 and a 2-0 count. I've got Townsend at 74 pitches. He had 98. So if South Sevier has a long inning again, that would likely be the end of it for him. Fouls that one off, does Brown, so a 2-1 count. If you're a Parowan, obviously you're hoping with those 24 pitches you might be able to get 2 or an inning and 2/3 out of it.
Yeah, and they sent someone down the bullpen. It was last inning, but he come in. I didn't get a number to see exactly who that was, but there's nobody down there right now. And after last inning, you feel like Townsend maybe settled back in again.
2-1 pitch. Shot foul to the right side, strike 2. Yeah, back in the 2nd inning, he threw 43 pitches. He followed that up with a 5-pitch inning.
Yeah. You know, part of that, too, is South Sevier, they hit the ball hard, but they got up there and were swinging first pitch, second pitch, got themselves out where so far in this tournament, the teams that have the patient hitters that draw the walks, those freebies that Willie's been talking about are huge.
Ground ball to the right side for Tate Brown. It's knocked down by Millett, but he cannot make the play as Brown will reach on the infield single to the right side.
Good piece of hitting by Tate Brown. Took that ball where it was pitched and drove it to the right-hand side. Millett made a valiant effort. Just couldn't corral it.
Yeah, Ingram 2 for 2 yesterday, hit by a pitch and a walk, and already today 2 singles and 2 RBIs, so he's 2 for 2.
And a run scored.
Yeah, he stands it on the right side here, does Peyton Ingram for South Sevier. First pitch from Townsend. This is low, ball 1.
He's had a good tournament. You know, he's done a nice job behind the plate, too.
He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he gets rid of the ball quick.
And he blocks well.
1-0 pitch. Top of the zone, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Takes a sign from Coach Brown on the third baseline. Brown at first base, takes a lead. Townsend comes set. Here's the 1-1 to Ingram. Curveball. Misses up, ball 2.
I think that's one of the reasons that Ingram is such a good hitter, too, because he sees a lot of pitches. He knows the zone back there catching, but at the same time, he's looking for his pitch. You know, unless he gets 2 strikes, he doesn't swing.
Well, he came in hitting 299. I think if they put everything together for this tournament, he's probably over 300 by now. Whoa, late recognition.
2-1,
but
foul to the right side for strike 2 and a 2-2 count.
The 2 gals standing there looking down, they didn't even see it. Purple shirt and white shirt.
Well, it kind of hopped right up over the
tarp,
the infield tarp right there too, and then went right up on the grass. The kids got them a souvenir. They're pretty excited about it.
I think they're having to return them, aren't they, or are they?
Well, they are, but whether they do or not.
2-2's fouled back for Ingram to stay alive in the at-bat.
Oh, hit right off that concrete.
Foul to the right side.
See the gal down the right field line getting her feet out of those bars real quick.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be a factor at some point. We've seen a lot of balls hit over there.
2 gals, the purple shirt and the light blue shirt down there, they're still not looking this way. They're watching their kids play on the rail there. Hope something doesn't happen.
Here's the 2-2 from Townsend to Ingram. Nearly hit him. Just broke late inside, ball 3 and a full count.
He was at a UVU ball game a couple weekends ago. I had my granddaughter there, and the ball hit out into the playground area. It was a gal and her son just walked out of the thing there. The shroud over the playground, but as they walked out, I hit the gal right in the belly.
3-2 pitch, chopped foul to the left side as Ingram continues to battle.
That's rule number 1. If you go to the baseball field, your eye better be on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, when you went in, there's like 5 or 6 kids over in that area on the concrete there waiting for the foul balls and stuff like that. But, you know, happened to hit a good sharp thing off a left-handed batter. And
3-2 count here for Ingram with runner on first and no outs. Townsend comes set. The payout pitch. Upstairs for ball 4, and 2 runners on now for South Sevier with no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Great at-bat for Peyton Ingram there as well.
Yeah, Ingram's just done a nice job all game long. Continues that.
So that'll bring Biggs Northrop up now for the Rams of South Sevier.
Freebies are tied up again.
Well, and Biggs he's had 2 of them. A walk and hit by pitch, but he's looking to drive something in a gap right here.
First pitch, hit him in the helmet. Tried to duck out of the way, couldn't do it.
It almost got Christian Boston on the rebound.
Yeah, bounced straight up.
Or Biggs again. Did you see him duck again? He's like, I don't want to be hit a second time. I've been hit once in the helmet. That's enough for me.
So that'll load the bases.
And yeah, he didn't know where it was going to be again.
He gives a thumbs up saying he's good.
Well, this kind of game that you're glad as a South Sevier Rams that you're going to have the last at-bat. And here comes Coach Townsend.
Yeah, he is going to make the change right now.
He's bringing number 23 with him.
It'll be Connor Robinson coming out of the dugout. We'll take the break for the pitching change. We're tied at 7 here in the bottom of the 4th inning of the 2A state championship. South Sevier has the bases loaded with no outs And a pitching change coming for Parowan. Canyon Okerlund comes to the plate next for South Sevier on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Smithfield Foods offers excellent career opportunities right here in our area. Great jobs in all phases of hog production starting at $13 an hour. Certifications to $15.75 an hour in the first year. Other non-farm positions also available. Smithfield provides a full benefit package including medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, paid time off, education reimbursement, and more. Come join the team. Visit smithfieldfoods.com/careers or call 435-387-6000. Smithfield, good food responsibly.
Legendary NBA coach Phil Jackson once said, yes, victory is sweet, but it doesn't necessarily make life any easier the next season or even the next day. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Make your kids' education a priority. Find out what you can do. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and promoting excellence in education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
Tired of driving your old clunker?
Now pitching for Parowan. Number 23.
Sevier Motors is your local Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge.
Townsend will take over at second base for the Parowan Rams. So those are your changes made here in this 2A state title game. South Sevier has the bases loaded with no outs in a tie ball game, 7-7. And Canyon Okerlund at the plate for the South Sevier Rams.
Yep, Robinson's got a 7.20 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 4 base on balls.
Okerlund will stand in on the right side. Robinson will work from the windup. First pitch. Drops off low, ball 1.
Walks a run. He wants to see some pitches anyway. New pitcher. Don't be first pitch swinging.
Yeah, he wants to talk to Christian Bost, so
get a look for your teammates if nothing else.
Looks like his shirt's coming undone.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
he's missing like
if you're
4
trying
buttons.
to show off your chest, you can't have the undershirt on. But yeah, he's got it open big.
Yeah, sometimes you see a lot of ball players that top one, they leave that one unbuttoned, but half his jersey's unbuttoned.
Okerlund back in on the right side, bases loaded, corners pulled in for Parowan. Middle infield playing double play depth. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Okerlund didn't waste that swing. Back in on the right side. Runners take their lead. Here's the 1-1 from Robinson. Check swing. Hold on. The home plate umpire says he went around, strike 2. Got a ball in the dirt for a 1-2 count.
South Sevier didn't like that.
So a 1-2 count. Robinson from the windup. Pitch to Okerlund. This is low and in, ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
Yeah, Canyon did kind of stick his knee out on that one. He's saying, down on the count, I'll get hit right here and get an RBI, get a run across.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Okerlund. Bases loaded for South Sevier in a tie ball game, 2A state championship. The 2-2. Down misses low and in. A good block by Bost to hold the runner. Of course, Tate Brown at third, likely not much of a threat on the pass ball.
No, but at the same time, you still got to get a good secondary to get down the line, because if it does carry him down, you should be able to score. Now, straight back to backstop, that's a little bit different, and it does sometimes bounce back, but you got to get down the line and read it.
3-2 full count now to Okerlund. Again, a walks a run. Here's the payoff pitch from Robinson. On the outside edge for a called strike 3, and Okerlund will go down looking for the first out of the inning, first strike out of the game for Connor Robinson.
The Canyons kind of had a tough 2 days. It's a second strikeout right there, and same thing yesterday. Had a couple Ks.
Bring up Tyson Robb, a 440 hitter.
Robb stands in on the right side of the bases loaded. The corner still pulled in with 1 out now. Pitch from Robinson. Up over the head of Robb, ball 1. Robb's 0 for 1, grounded out to third, and then he got hit by a pitch.
Again, that was with loaded bases.
Yeah. Those are both in the second inning.
Yeah, same situation for him right here.
1-0 pitch. Called strike 1 at the top of the zone for a 1-1 count. 7-7 your score here in the bottom of the fourth. South Sevier, the bases loaded and 1 out.
Hagen Morrell standing on deck circle hoping for a chance.
1-1 to Rob. Curveball caught the inside edge. Strike 2 and a 1-2 count.
A really good pitch right there from Robinson. Coach Townsend making the change, and so far it's working out.
Hagen Morrell telling the dugout to get cheering. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Blocked by Boss for ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
You can see, obviously, the game plan for Robinson's come in and throw curveballs.
Yeah.
Parowan sending down number 34 also to get warmed up. Not sure.
That's Hunter Johnson, the DH.
Oh, yeah.
Next pitch. Called strike 3, and Rob will go down looking for the second out of the inning as that one's up in the zone.
Yeah, back-to-back backwards Ks with loaded bases. That's tough, but, it might have been up in the zone, but with 2 strikes, you got to be fouling those pitches off and seeing,
Well, he'd already called one up there in the at-bat.
So that brings Hagen Morrell up with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Here's the pitch from Robinson. This is outside, ball 1.
Yeah, just a steady diet of curveballs. So if you're Hagen Morrell, you just got to get in there and pick one out and, give it a ride.
Somewhere other than that shade in Benson.
1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
That was the fastball, and he was ready for it, but just swung right through that one.
So 1-1 count. Runners take their lead. Got Ingram at second with good speed. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Just shorten up here and try to slap something through the infield.
Yeah, just kind of that 12-6 curveball. Pretty good spin on it.
Use your speed.
Looks like he's going to throw it again.
There's the 1-2. Curveball swung on, popped foul to the left field line. Giving chase is Hall, but he will not get there as it lands foul. So Morrell battles to stay alive. Riley Barney and Hagen Morrell exchanging fist bumps. South Sevier had the first 3 batters reach base, an infield single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And now there's 2 outs.
This would be big if they could get out of this.
For Parowan.
No runs.
Yeah, Parowan's trying to get out of the inning without giving up the lead. It's tied at 7 here in the bottom of the 4th. There's the 1-2 to Morrell. Swung on. Fly ball to the left side again. Little drifting back at third. Unable to make the catch as it lands foul once again. And Morrell continues to battle.
Yeah, runners were on the move, though. They would have scored, if that drops fair, they would have scored 2 for sure. Good job of getting on the base pass and get moving right there. And, Hagen Morrell just dodges a bullet because Jace Little normally is going to make that play, but it just had kind of drifted back towards the foul line and he missed it. But now's when you make him pay for giving you that extra swing right here.
So a 1-2 count. Again, the pitch in the dirt. Ball 2. And a good block by Christian Boss. The South Sevier dugout trying to get a little louder.
Get the 7th pitch in the at-bat to Hagen Morrell.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. The pitch from Robinson. They hit him.
Got him.
An RBI hit by pitch, and South Sevier's back in front 8-7.
Yeah, that's Hagen Morrell. He does whatever it takes to get on base, and right there he stayed in there and took the hit by pitch and pushes the go-ahead run across the plate.
Turns over the lineup. Gets us back to Riley Barney.
Barney will stand in on the right side. Bases still loaded. You've got Ingram at third, Northrop at second, Morrell at first.
We have seen an absolute ton of hit by pitches in this tournament.
In this game alone.
That's 5 today for the Parowan team. 3 South Sevier.
First pitch to Barney. Curveball catches the inside edge, strike 1.
Well, Riley's right up on the plate.
Barney's 0 for 3, reached on an error and scored in the first, flew out to center in the second, and lined out to third in the third.
So if that ball doesn't get him on the midsection, a pretty good chance that it's close to the strike zone.
There's the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball to the left side, fielded by Little at third base. He'll step on the bag to end the inning but South Sevier takes the lead, 8-7. They get one run on a one hit. No errors by Parowan, and 3 runners left on base through 4 in the 2A state championship. It is South Sevier 8, Parowan 7 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Paint projects go more smoothly when you use Jones Paint and Glass, because we're as excited as you are about your project. Our paint experts know their paint and will work with you to help you find the perfect paint products for your needs. They'll help ensure you get the color you're hoping for and that you're able to get the job done right the first time. Stop by Jones Paint and Glass to speak with an expert today. When you hear the crash, you better think Jones.
As we go to the top of the 5th inning, South Sevier leads the Parowan Rams 8-7 in this 2A state title game. Keegan Heath still on the mound for South Sevier. Coming to the plate this inning for Parowan, they will have the 8-9-1 batters, Luke Millett, Matt Townsend, and Trevor Yardley. If we get to the 4th batter, that is Shaden Benson.
Leading off for Parowan in the 5th.
How many pitches has Keegan Heath thrown? Did you have that?
63.
63, and he's got 110, so South Sevier just going to hope that Parowan doesn't put up any more of those crooked numbers out there and just ride him out.
First pitch, missed inside, ball 1. Millett 0 for 2 in the game, struck out looking twice.
Yeah, South Sevier crowd now trying to get the chant going, get the players and the team excited, let them know they're behind them.
Swing and a miss there for strike 1 to Millett, and 0-1 count.
Yeah, Millett 2 backwards Ks.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. A 1-2 count now to Millett.
Yeah, and this is where he's kind of got frozen, but you'd rather see him go down swinging just like that last swing if you're Coach Townsend.
1-2. Called, strike 3, and Millett will go down looking for the first out of the inning and the 4th strikeout of the game for Keegan Heath.
Yeah, that might have been the best pitch of the at-bat, too, but not sure if he was looking for something off speed, but Keegan Heath just threw the fastball right down the middle.
So 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning. That brings Matt Townsend to the plate now for Parowan. First pitch, swung on, ground ball to the left side, gets through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. The tying run is on base now for Parowan with 1 out. Brings to the plate Trevin Yardley, the leadoff hitter for the Rams of Parowan. All Rams state championship here today.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it earlier. The Rams are going to win.
That's
so
right.
Just don't know for sure which Rams yet.
Trevin Yardley stands in on the right side. Heath comes set. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. Yardley is 3 of the 7 Parowan runs. He walked and scored, doubled and scored, and walked and scored.
Yeah, he's had a really good game and made some nice plays out there at shortstop, too, defensively. But just one of those leaders for this Parowan Ram team.
1-0 pitch, swung on, blooper up the right center field, and Morrell coming over. He's not going to get there. Picks it up, but is Northrup, and it'll be a C&I single on the blooper into right center field. 2 on and 1 out, and Shaden Benson coming to the plate for Parowan.
Yardley had one of those earlier against Kanab, too.
Yeah.
Killer row.
With the 7-year score here in the top of the 5th inning, South Sevier leading Parowan in this 2A state championship, but Parowan with the tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. Just one out in the inning. Runners take their lead as Heath comes set. First pitch to Benson. Swung on, line drive into right. Morrell coming in, takes it off the one hop, and gets it in quickly, and they will hold the runner at third. Heath lost his footing, and it got by him, and it's going to go to the dugouts. That'll bring a run in. The throw is a little bit offline as Heath tried to cut it off. He slipped, and that'll allow the tying run to come in to score on the single by Shady Benson.
Yeah, single, and then just like you said, Robert, Heath kind of got his cleats stuck and went down. The ball got past him.
We've seen that several times in the tournament.
So runners at second and third now for Parowan. And one out with Christian Boss coming to the plate. Peyton Ingram calls time. He goes out and visits with Keegan Heath in a tie ball game.
Well, he gets Luke Millett struck out. Caught him looking on that third strike, and then 3 singles in a row, and all 3 balls hit pretty good. Same thing though, this Parowan Ram team, they're hitting fastballs. He's got to be able to get that curveball and throw multiple pitches for strikes.
Christian Boss will stand in on the right side for Parowan as Peyton Ingram settles back in behind the plate. 8-8 your score, top 5. First pitch from Heath. On the inside half, called strike 1. Boss reached on an error and a bunt in the first inning, and an RBI single in the second, and a 2-run single in the fourth. He'd get 2 more if he singles again here. The 0-1 from Heath. This is inside for ball 1. Saw Boss try to slide out there in front of that one a little bit.
Hey, I haven't seen a player yet that's not afraid to get hit.
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, chop to the left side. Charging is Tebbs at short, fields it. The throw to first is in time. And the go-ahead run comes across for Parowan on the RBI ground out by Christian Boss. It's now 9-8 Parowan. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, the 6-3. Nice play from Ridge Tebbs out there at shortstop. But Parowan going on contact. You know, good decision out there by Coach Townsend to get those runners going on contact and to get the ground ball to score the run.
Brings Jace Little to the plate now for the Parowan Rams with an insurance run at third base. Keegan Heath. First pitch to Jace Little. Nearly hit him up and high and tight ball 1. Little's 1 for 2 in the game.
Trying to dial in the curveball there. Just ain't been able to get the bite on it.
RBI single in the first, struck out in the second, walked in the fourth. It did Little. Here's the 1-0 from Heath. Drops off low for ball 2 and a 2-0 hitters count. The 2-0 pitch to Jace Little. This is low ball, 3 and a 3-0 count.
I'd just go ahead and put him on right here.
Yeah, I wonder if Coach Townsend will give him the green light, though, if he gets his pitch to go ahead and swing away.
Bet you will.
3-0. Called strike 1.
Maybe he didn't like it. Maybe he didn't have it. I don't know. If I got a kid up there with 5 home runs, hitting in the 460s, I'm going to turn him loose.
3-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count for Little. Kind of short arm that swing did Jace Little.
Yeah, it was almost like an excuse me swing. The ball was in the glove. It kind of threw it. Wasn't quite ready for it.
Here's the payoff pitch from Heath. Called strike 3 on the inside edge, and Little goes down looking for the 3rd out of the inning. 5th strikeout of the game for Keegan Heath, but Parowan's back in front. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, or 1 error by South Sevier, and 1 runner left on base. So through 4.5. In the 2A state championship, it's Parowan 9, South Sevier 8 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and B6 Media.
Some hands swing rackets or grip irons. Some make winning plays or navigate steep trails. And some hands heal. They mend broken bones, deliver new life, set us on the right path, and help us feel better again. At Sevier Valley Hospital, our hands are here to help and heal.
Tebbs Financial is proud to support our local high school baseball teams located at 180 North, 100 East, Suite C in Richfield. Owner Haley Tebbs is happy to help with all of your individual and group health insurance needs. At Tebbs Financial, they can also offer a wide range of investment options, including IRAs and college savings plans. Stop in or call 893-2107. And remember, Babe Ruth once said, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Securities offered through Parkland Securities Company, LLC, member FINRA SIPC. Tebbs Financial is independent of Parkland Securities.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to BarneyJobs.com. That's BarneyJobs.com.
This is Central Utah's sports leader,
KSBC.
To the bottom of the fifth inning we go here at Gates Field with the 2A state championship. 9-8 Parowan leads at South Sevier. And South Sevier will bring to the plate this inning the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Ridge Tebbs, Keegan Heath, and Tate Brown. If we get to the fourth batter, that will be Peyton Ingram. Connor Robinson on the mound in relief. First pitch missed high and tight. There's the 1-0 to Tebbs. Swung on high, fly ball to right center, tailing toward Dawson Robin right, and he will make the play for out number 1. So an F9 for Ridge Tebbs for the first out of the inning.
Got a good piece of it, hit it where it was pitched, just got under it a little bit too much.
He's flew out to all 3 fields now in this game.
Yeah, in order, 7, 8, 9.
So that'll bring Keegan Heath to the plate now with 1 out.
Keegan's got a pair of hits in the ball game today, 2 for 3. 2 runs scored.
First pitch, over his head, ball 1.
Connor Robinson's come in and done a really nice job, though. He got him out of a huge jam. He's been able to throw that curveball and keep these South Sevier hitters off balance, not just sitting on the fastball.
1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2. You mentioned Keegan Heath, 2 for 3 in the game, but the 1 out was sharply hit as well to the shortstop, just right at him. Hitters count here for Heath. The 2-0. That was up down the middle, strike 1 and the 2-1 count.
Yeah, he knows it too. He kind of just, shook his head, nodded. Yep, strike.
Robinson from the windup. 2-1 pitch to Heath. Curveball swung on, fly ball into center field. Benson drifting back and makes the play for out number 2 and F8 for Heath. Fly out to center field for the second out of the inning.
That's what you're going to get on that curveball unless you really square it up and get on top of it. You're going to get underneath it and hit a lot of fly ball outs.
First baseman number 10, Tate Brown.
He's the cleanup hitter, Tate Brown, to the plate now for South Sevier. He stands in on the left side. First pitch, missed up, ball 1. Brown's 2 for 3 in the game. Flew out to center, had an RBI single to left, and then an infield single to the right side. Scored 2 runs. 1-0, ground ball to the right side. That's going to get through the 3-4 hole for a base hit. A 2-out single for Tate Brown.
Yeah, and this might be the time where you think about bringing in a pinch runner and see if you can't swipe a base and then re-enter Tate Brown with 2 outs. If you could get that, especially with Peyton Ingram, if you get Tate Brown or pinch runner or someone to second base, Peyton Ingram's been swinging a hot bat, gets you that 1 run back.
Better be somebody exceptionally fast with Boss behind the plate there.
Yeah, we've seen it before.
Yep.
Ingram stands on the right side. Robinson comes set. First pitch. Missed inside, ball 1. Ingram is 2 for 2. 2 hard hit ground balls through the 5-6 hole for RBI. Well, 1 at the middle, 1 to the 5-6 hole, 2 RBIs. And he walked last inning. Robinson comes set. Here's the 1-0 to Ingram. Curveball, swung on line, drive to the left field line. It's going to be down for a base hit. And Brown, it's off the glove of Hall, so Brown will come to third. Standing up, it's a double for Peyton Ingram, and the tying run is now at third. The go-ahead run at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, he just got that curveball in the part of the plate, turned on it, but that was the difference. He kind of hit that line drive. He was able to square it up, didn't get under it, and lift it up to where he flies out. And that's going to bring up Biggs Northrop. I think he'd want something other than a pitch on his helmet or his sleeve or his foot. Or
He stands on the right side. First pitch from Robinson to Northrop. Curveball, strike one. You say that as Northrop walked in his first plate appearance and then has been hit in his next two.
Yeah, and Robinson, he looks pretty good on the mound. He's got a lot of control. He doesn't get rattled. He just keeps throwing that curveball.
0-1 fastball. Fouled off the leg of Northrop for strike two and a 0-2 count.
And that one stung him. He kind of closed his eyes and took a minute. Now he's just going to try to walk that off just a little bit, but that one hurt.
Give a thumbs up to Trent Brown in the third baseline. Tying run at third here for South Sevier. Go ahead run at second.
Big's a tough kid.
2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth and a 0-2 count. Comes set, does Robinson. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball called, strike three as it drops in. Northrop will go down looking for the third out of the inning and the third strikeout of the game for Connor Robinson. South Sevier threatens, but they do not score. No runs on 2 hits. No errors committed by Parowan, and 2 runners left on base through 5 in the 2A state championship. It's Parowan 9, South Sevier 8 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Barrett's Foodtown has been your hometown grocer since 1935, earning your business every day with its fast, friendly, and convenient services. Barrett's meat department is second to none. You don't have to call someone out of the back room to get that special cut of meat you desire and deserve. You don't have to play card games or put up with troublesome gimmicks. You save money every time you shop Barrett's Foodtown. Barrett's Foodtown supports local schools and sporting events. Shop Barrett's Foodtown in Salina or click on barrettsfoodtown.com or follow Barrett's on Facebook.
DP Curtis Trucking works hard to move America and get their drivers home on the weekend. DP Curtis hires reliable drivers with competitive starting pay and raises after 90 days. Additional pay for tarps, drops, picks, and additional trailers. Employment options include insurance, 401k, paid vacation, and attainable bonuses, and more. Why would you drive for anyone else? Call DP Curtis Trucking for details, 435-893-2886. That's 893-2886, or click on dpcurtis.com.
Hello, this is Brenda Bartholomew, CEO of Gunnison Valley Hospital. We are celebrating 90 years this year. We're planning on celebrating all year long. On behalf of the providers, past and present, and our amazing staff, we extend a thank you to all who have been with us in this journey of success. We have loved taking care of the people of Central Utah since 1932. We look forward to serving you for the next 90 years.
You're listening to exciting high school sports action on
KSVC.
And we're back here at Gates Field in the 2A state championship. It's a 1-run ball game as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Parowan leading South Sevier in the All-Rams state title game. And the Parowan Rams in the top half of the 6th will bring the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to the plate this inning, as they will bring Wyatt Hall, Dawson Robb, and Hunter Johnson. And if we get the 4th batter this inning, that will be Luke Millett for Parowan. Keegan Heath still on the mound for South Sevier. He's got 30 pitches left. Hall will stand in on the right side. He's 1 for 2 in the game. First pitch from Heath. High and tight, ball 1. One 0 count as Hall stands back in on the right side. It's the pitch from Heath. Swung on. It's fouled out of play for strike 1 and a 1-1 count.
Well, both teams sticking with their strength. They're swinging the bat for the most part. Got a lot of lookies for South Sevier.
1-1 pitch. High and tight, ball 2.
In the worst possible situations.
Yeah, South Sevier defensively just pretty much straight up right here on Wyatt Hall.
2-1 pitch. High and tight, ball 3, and hitters count now for Hall. Three 1 from Heath. Swung on, fouled on the left field line for strike 2 and a full count.
Good job of Heath coming back with strike 2 right there. You got to make Whitehouse swing his way on base.
Curveball up there in the meaty part of the strike zone, though.
So a 3-2 full count. Hall stands on the right side as Heath works from the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Upstairs for ball 4, and Hall will draw the leadoff walk.
Yeah, and that's Parowan 1 through, well, it's scattered throughout, but really the top of the lineup does their damage. But when you walk the guys middle and bottom towards the bottom part of that lineup and give the top of the lineup chance to pick up RBIs and drive runners in, it really makes it tough.
Coach Baker has seen enough pitching change coming for South Sevier, and we're in the 2A state championship, top of the 6th. Parowan leads 9-8. Parowan with a runner on first and no outs. And Brace Brindley coming on for the South Sevier Rams. He'll get to face Dawson Robb first when we come back here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and and V6 Media and Centricom Channel 10.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is proud to be a part of Utah's rural communities and loves to cheer on the youth of rural Utah. We take great pride in helping shape the quality of life by offering full engineering and architectural services, municipal and private business software solutions, and community involvement. Jones and DeMille is your go-to resource for planning, funding, designing, and infrastructure needs. We strive to serve with a professional, personalized rural touch to provide value that reaches beyond the project. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life together.
Your connection for high school sports.
KSBC.
As we come back here to Gatesville at Kearns High School, Bo Millett will pinch hit for Dawson Robb. He stands in on the right side. He's the first batter that Brace Brindley will face for South Sevier. First pitch misses low to Millett for ball 1. So both teams making a change. South Sevier on the mound. Keegan Heath will go back to center field. Diggs Northrup slides back over to left field. Riley Barney comes back into play second base, and Payson Mitchell leaves the game for South Sevier.
Yeah, Bo Millett, we saw him pitching in the last game and playing some third base. This is his first at bat.
And that pitch misses high for ball 2 and a 2-0 count now to Millett. Robb was 0 for 3 in the game. Prompting the pinch hit here by Coach Townsend.
Brace Brindley has a 1.75 ERA. 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls.
There's the 2-0 pitch. Strike 1.
Yeah, good looking pitch right there to get that first strike in there. That's a big one.
We got to see him on Thursday against Kanab. Brindley came in for a short time.
Yeah, we saw a few pitchers, but he came in through really well.
2-1 count. The pitch to Millett. Misses low, ball 3, and the hitters count now. At the top of the 6th inning, Parowan trying to force the if game. South Sevier trying to win it in 1. Parowan leads 9-8. Brindley sets. There's the 3-1 to Millett. And Millett even thought it was a strike. Ball 4 though instead. So he rides the first.
Stood there waiting for him to call it a strike. He didn't do it.
Well, he just wasn't real decisive. The umpire is, they're going to go ahead. Millett does his job, comes in, pinch hits, draws the walk, and then they're going to re-enter.
Dawson Robb.
Dawson Robb, yeah.
So Robb will be at first base for Parowan, 2 on and no outs. And that brings Hunter Johnson to the plate now for the Parowan Rams.
Nobody out.
Runners take their lead as Brindley comes set. First pitch to Johnson. High and tight, ball 1.
sharp as he was when he came in on Thursday.
And Johnson's one we've seen down there warming up earlier too. So if Coach Townsend needs him to go to the bullpen or make any changes, it's probably going to be this guy right here.
1-0 misses low for ball 2, and a 2-0 hitter's counting out of Johnson. Johnson is 1 for 3 in the game. He struck out in the first, singled in the third, and hit into a double play in the fourth. South Sevier wouldn't mind another one of those double play balls.
Yeah, well, they definitely need it, you know. They're down 1 run right here, and they got no outs. Don't want to give up anything else.
2-0, pop to the right side. Tate Brown coming into foul territory. Does he have room? He does not, as it lands on the roof for strike 1 and a 2-1 count. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Hunter Johnson with no outs here in the top of the 6th, and 2 on for Parowan. Brindley sets. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen for strike 2. You know, you look at some of these freshmen for South Sevier that are getting a lot of time throughout the season. Peyton Ingram, Biggs Northrop, Kenyon Oakland, Brace Brindley, Stockton Roberts, Riker Freeman. A lot of them got time either in football or basketball in varsity play as well. They've been playing varsity a lot of the years. Now Johnson fouls that one back.
Well, they're going to rely on that, you know, when use your experience from the fall sports, winter sports, and carry that over here in the spring sports. And, you know, this is a big stage right here, so it helps when you have some of that varsity experience.
Here's the 2-2 pitch now from Brindley to Johnson. This is low, ball 3 and a full count. Pretty good spot. Johnson just didn't offer at it. So a full count as Brindley sets. The payoff pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the left side. Tab to the backhand. Throw to second is not in time. Oh, they got him, they say. Going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice, and I'm agreeing with the Parowan fans. I didn't think he got him, but they called the out.
Well, and I thought at first maybe Rich Tebb's only shot was at third base, which is probably going to be safe, and he spun and fired a strike over to second base, and umpire says the ball did just beat him, but you know, that's a huge out for South Sevier because now it still leaves that double play intact as well.
So I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
So 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring Luke Miller to the plate for Parowan. Runners in the corners. See how Coach Townsend wants to handle that with Johnson at first and Hall at third. Johnson with the early steal, and it's going to be a balk.
Yep.
They got Brindley to balk on it. So it's now 10-8 on the balk.
And that's where the youthfulness comes into play right there. You know, your senior's probably going to be expecting that and knowing that, going to step off. Instead, he spun the wrong way and did a balk call, and that sends another run home.
So 10-8, now your score. Runner on second, Luke Millett at the plate for Parowan. First pitch from Brindley. Strike 1.
Yeah, Luke Millett's had a tough day at the plate. Played from pretty good first base. We've seen him pitch in this tournament too. He's done a nice job on the mound, but he's had a tough day at the plate.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Brindley needs a strikeout here again.
Yeah, you don't want to bring anybody in murderer's row up with anybody on base when you're already down by 2, and you haven't scored 2 since the second inning.
0-2 pitch. Fouled back for Millett to stay alive. 10-8 is your score. Parowan with the lead and 1 out. Runner on second here in the top of the 6th. The pitch from Brindley. Third ball. Misses up for ball 1.
All 3 of Millett's strikeouts have been caught looking too, so you know, obviously that pitch was up, but he let it go.
Here's the 1-2. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Millett will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Brace Brindley. I'll bring Matt Townsend to the plate now for Parowan.
The second baseman, number 19, Matt Townsend.
Matt Townsend started this game on the mound.
First pitch from Brindley. Curveball swung on, popped up in the infield. And Barney calls for it at second base, and he will make the play for out number 3. So a P4 for Townsend, pop the second for the third out. But Parowan adds to their lead. They get 1 run on no hits in the inning, and no errors committed by South Sevier in the process, and 1 runner left on base. So through 5.5 innings of play in the 2A state championship, it's Parowan 10, South Sevier 8 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
We sell more, so you pay less. Jorgensen Automotive Group, the #1 volume dealer in San Pete and Sevier counties. And we ain't just whistling Dixie. It's a matter of fact. You don't get to be #1 without having great deals on great cars, paying top dollar on trades, and taking great care of your customers. So that's all we do, all day long. Jorgensen Automotive Group, the #1 volume dealer in San Pete and Sevier counties. There's only one #1.
Harmon Tire in Nephi is proud to sponsor this broadcast of high school sports and wants to wish the Juab Wasps good luck. Harmon Tire, 895 North Main in Nephi, has been a family-owned business since 1973, providing Nephi and the surrounding areas with exceptional service for over 40 years. Harmon Tire specializes in tires, alignments, brakes, steering, suspension, wheels, shocks, struts, and more. Stop by Harmon Tire on Main Street in Nephi or give them a call at 435-623-0720. That's Harmon Tire in Nephi. Go Wasps!
Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora have a non-stop tractor workhorse, just what you need for a non-stop world. Power Star tractors from New Holland provide unprecedented power, comfort, and performance in a utility tractor so you can tackle grounds, municipal, or farm tasks with ease. Choose from 6 models from 64 to 117 engine horsepower with an open-air ROPS platform or spacious Vision View cab. Learn more about the Power Star family of tractors. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora today.
Live play-by-play coverage of local high school sports.
KSBC.
To the bottom of the 6th inning to go here in the 2A state championship. Parowan leading South Sevier 10-8. South Sevier will bring the 7-8-9 batters to the plate this inning. Kenyon Okerlund, Tyson Robb, and Hagen Morrell. If we get to the 4th batter, that will be the leadoff hitter, Riley Barney. Connor Robinson on the mound for Parowan. First pitch to Okerlund for a called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch, curveball, fouled off. Strike 2. So no 2 count.
Just don't understand that first pitch, squaring around like that and watching probably the best pitch you're going to see in the at-bat go by.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, that was just you're taking to get a strike probably is what they were doing right there.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, swung at it and fouled it off to the right side for Okerlund to stay alive.
Yeah, that curveball, Robinson just left it up a little bit high. He's been able to keep that ball down, and he's given up a couple hits, but most of it has been flyouts.
Okerlund back in on the right side for South Sevier. There's the 0-2. Swung on, chopped foul to the third base side.
That's a pretty good hack right there, too, with 2 strikes. Okerlund needs to just shorten up right here and put the ball in play. Obviously, he wants to get a base hit, but you can't overswing right here with 2 strikes.
The 0-2 again. Curveball swung on, line drive, fair down the third base line. Okerlund is rounding first, headed for second, looking for a double. The throw in is going to be cut off, and he slides in safely. Kenyon Okerlund leads off the 6th with a double for South Sevier.
There you go.
Hey.
Choked up. Look what happened. Yeah.
Shortened up, but he squared that ball up really well and hit it down the left field line, and that's the leadoff hit that South Sevier needed as they're here in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 2 runs.
Tyson Robb needs to do the same thing. He's grounded out, got on and hit by pitch, and then struck out looking. So that's the last thing you want to do is be stuck there in your cleats watching strike 3 go by in this situation.
He's in on the right side. First pitch from Robinson. Swung on. Just foul into the ump's goal down the third base line.
That was self-defense by the umpire down there, getting both hands down. Looked like a first baseman maybe.
So an 0-1 count. Robb stands back in. Oakland at second base for South Sevier. Robinson sets. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball. Foul tip. Strike 2. So an 0-2 count. No outs here in the bottom of the sixth, and a 2-run game in the 2A state championship. Parowan leading South Sevier 10-8.
Got the ball behind Blue out there down the line.
How much money is that, Noah?
Hey, I'm close to $1 million now. Aren't you, Willie?
Yeah, I want you to adopt me when you get that money, buddy.
So an 0-2 count.
We had fans yelling yesterday, take care of your kids.
I'm low maintenance, just ask Robert. I eat out of my cupboards at work, what the heck.
Robinson sets. Here's the 0-2 now to Tyson Robb. Thought about it, held off, and watched ball one go by. They will appeal to the field umpire. He did not go around. Ball one.
He heard me talking back here, so the last thing you want to do is be stuck with that bat on your shoulder in this situation, so he was tracking it.
And that one, he's glad he left it on his shoulder.
That was up. 1-2 count. Robinson again comes set.
Shoot something through that right-hand side. Got a big hole over there.
Upstairs again, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tyson Robb digs back into the right side as Robinson takes the sign from Christian Bost behind the plate. Checks Okerlund at second. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs again, ball 3 and a full count.
Yeah, Rob, the tying run right here, trying to find a way on base, but Kenyon Okerlund's got to be ready to. Anything that gets away from the catcher, he's got to get down to third base.
Should get a good pitch to hit.
Here's the 3-2 count as the South Sevier crowd gets in it. The payoff pitch from Robinson to Robb. Swung on. High fly ball fouled on the left field line as Robb battles.
Yeah, he turned on that pitch and just, that pitch was in on the hands, but you got to turn it and foul it off, get rid of it, and get a pitch out over the plate. But anywhere close, you're swinging.
Tyson Robb's a 440 hitter, so it's not a fluke here that he can turn on a pitch like that.
Count remains full. Robb back in on the right side. Okerlund at second for South Sevier. Robinson sets. Again, the 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on, line drive, in the left, off the glove of Little. They're going to wave him home. Okerlund rounds third. He'll come in to score. And Robb is safe at first. It's a 1-run ball game, and South Sevier has the tying run on base.
Yeah, and that was going to be a base hit all the way, but Little did actually get a glove on it. Made a good effort, but you got to give that one a hit, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Good piece of
hitting. He
hitting.
didn't get enough of the glove on it that he was going to stick.
Great at bat from Tyson Robb.
It really was. Robb fouled a couple pitches off and just battled right there. Comes up with a big hit and an RBI.
So it's a 1-run ball game with the tying run on first now for South Sevier. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hagen Morrell coming to the plate for the Rams.
And you might see Hagen Morrell lay one down this third baseline too. He's got great speed. That moves the runner and might even give him a chance to be safe.
Turn it toward the first, not in time. Robb easily dives back safely.
I think if I'm South Sevier, that's what I'm trying to do, get Hagen Morrell just to sack bunt down that third baseline.
Robinson sets. First pitch, he thought about it. Watch the strike one go by on the outside edge. The 0-1 count.
And Little still not going to move in there. Maybe now he's going to come up a couple steps, but still.
Dugout saw that.
With Hagen's speed, you got to be up on the grass.
Robb takes the lead.
Stick with the call.
0-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Bost, and he came up ready to throw, holding Robb at first base. 1-1 count now to Morrell.
You got to be cautious, but not too tentative over there at first base. Something gets by up the line here. You got to have that good secondary.
1-1 count. The pitch. Fouled straight down, strike two. Morrell just missed one.
Yeah, kind of a thank you swing there. Late recognition. Decided late that he was going to swing.
Connor Robinson, Christian Boss, they want to talk here at home plate.
Well, they went ahead and, looked like the one time he might try to bunt. After that, it was swing away, and maybe Sal Sevier's thought process here is we're not just trying to tie the game, we're wanting to win this game.
Well, you win it one run at a time.
10-9 your score, bottom of the sixth. Tying run on base for Sal Sevier, no outs, and a 1-2 count to Hagen Morrell. Robinson checks the runner as he comes set. Here's the 1-2. Misses up and away, ball two, and a 2-2 count.
Hagen Morrell's a tough out at the plate, evens the count, and, he'll find a way.
He's been hit by a pitch twice this game. Here's the 2-2. Curveball misses outside for ball three and a full count as Robinson lost that one from release. Full count. Rob takes a lead. Morrell digs in. There's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Ball four, high and away. Boss trying to get the frame, did not get it. 2 on now for Sal Sevier with no outs in the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, and this is big too for Sal Sevier because you're trying to, obviously tie the game, but maybe get that go-ahead run and then go out there in the 7th and try to win a ball game.
Just play within yourself here. Do what you do normally. Don't have to hit a 3-run home run here.
Tyson Robb at second. Hagen Morrell at first for Sal Sevier. Riley Barney at the plate with no outs. Robinson sets. First pitch to Barney. On the inside edge, strike one. Barney is 0 for 4 in the game.
No outs. You might, infield's playing back, you might want to go ahead and bump Barney. He's got good speed. He's a good leadoff guy. That puts 2 guys in scoring position. Rich Tebbs has hit some fly balls. At least you're going to get that one in, but the chance maybe to get 2 guys in scoring position.
472 hitter.
0-1 curveball swung on. Line drive fair down the left field line. Rob is rounding third. He's going to come in to score. Morrell checking for third. He will come in standing up. And it's a tie ball game on the RBI single by Riley Barney. He moves to second on the throw. 2 runners in scoring position. Still no outs for Sal Sevier in the bottom of the 6th.
That's Sal Sevier's forte, hit the baseball. That's what they do. They just do their best when they're just standing in there swinging the bats, and then their speed right there. Hagen Morrell, most guys stop at second base, but with his speed, it allows Barney to come around and get to second base.
Pitching coach going to go out and have a discussion here with his pitcher. Nobody out. 2 runs across, still 2 on. That's what they needed. They needed the big inning. Need to get the game back. So 34 is headed to the bullpen again. That's what they're doing. They're going to buy a little time to get him down there, get him loose.
So he's out on the mound.
Come on, Blue, get out there and get it broke up. Let's get this game rolling.
Ridge Tebbs coming to the plate. Go-ahead run is at third. An insurance run at second. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And again, speed on the bases. Riley Barney at second. A hit to the grass likely means a run.
Yeah, Parowan looks like they're going to come in on the grass, so Riley Barney can get a big lead. He's not going to be held on. Ridge Tebbs, you'd like to see another fly out at least, get that 1 run in, but try to drive something out of the infield.
Yeah, I was going to say they only pulled him the left side, but then Matt Townsend did realize, I'm supposed to be on the grass, so he came running in. So the infield pulled in for Parowan with no outs. Ridge Tebbs at the plate. Ridge Tebbs has hit 3 to the outfield.
Square one up and hit it. So the outfield, except maybe shallow to Shaden Vince, is probably going to score a run.
And
ball gets out of the stands again.
Yeah, another ball.
One kid's
throwing stuff at him.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Tebbs in on the right side as Robinson comes set. The pitch. Curveball. Strike one on the inside edge.
He said that.
Robinson just sticking with what he's got. You know, he's done really well so far, but it's tough to keep these South Sevier hitters quiet for too long.
There's the 0-1 in the dirt. Good block by Bost to hold the runner. Ball one. Tebbs flew out to left in the first, walked and scored in the second, flew out to center in the third, flew out to right in the fifth.
He's due.
Yeah, and that's one thing, you know, right now is Tebbs wants to get that fly ball, something out of the infield.
Get it where it's pitched.
1-1 count. Swung on, ground ball to the left side, fielded by Yardley. He comes home with it, and Bost can't handle it. It's in the dirt, and he couldn't handle it. Morrell comes in to score on the air, and South Sevier's back in front, still no outs, and the bases loaded. Yardley fielded it cleanly, though the throw was in the dirt, and you're trying to catch that with a catcher's glove.
Well, that's tough. It really is, but that's all Hagen Morrell, right? That's his speed.
Yeah.
Most runners at third base, you're not sending them right there, but with Morrell, you're going on contact. It forced Yardley to speed up his throw, and then even Bost to try to catch and tag because of his speed. And he knows right from the get-go he's going on contact.
So an E6 brings in a run. Runners at first and third for South Sevier. They have the 1-run lead and still no outs. They're in the bottom of the sixth inning, and Keegan Heath at the plate.
Good curveball hitter here, Keegan Heath.
Tebbs takes off. First pitch in the dirt. Bost will block it and just give up second base. Ball one to Heath. Heath is 2 for 4. 2 hard-hit singles. A ground out to short and a fly out to center.
It's a big at-bat right here because
they're going to bring the infield in again with now Tebbs at second.
And you probably do the same thing, to be honest. Go on contact. If not, you got a runner at third, Heath at first. You can still second, and you're right back in the same situation.
2-0.
Pitch misses outside for a hitter's count now for Keegan Heath.
One thing you got to do is any ball to the outfield, you've got to be tagging up.
Here's the 2-0 from Robinson. Third ball catches that inside edge for strike one and a 2-1 count.
You got to make sure you're tagged.
Yes.
If you don't leave early.
Yeah.
Barney at third, Tebbs at second for South Sevier. Getting big leads, not being held on. There's the 2-1 from Robinson out of the windup. Swung on, line drive through the 5-6 hole. That'll score Barney. Tebbs coming around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Keegan Heath, and it's a 3-run lead for South Sevier in the 2A state championship.
Yeah, South Sevier starting to feel it now. Coming to this inning down 2 runs, and have already plated 5. Still no outs.
And that's going to be it for Mr. Robinson, I believe. Yep, here he comes from the number 34. Who's 34?
Hunter Johnson.
Hunter Johnson, that's right.
He'll come out of the bullpen, so a pitching change here for Parowan.
You think? Now, the coach come out a couple times and tested us, so we're going to stay here for just a second and make sure that they don't pull the wool over our eyes again. But now here Johnson's running towards the infield. Yep, no, they pointed him on, so I think
he's going to come on. So Connor Robinson going to come out of the game for Parowan. It's a 13-10 lead. South Sevier up in this 2A state championship. 5 runs here in the 6th. Still no outs for South Sevier, and the runner on first. A pitching change for Parowan. Hunter Johnson will face Tate Brown first when we come back here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Come find your trail in Utah's Trail Country.
Here in Sevier County, we have a trail for everyone, from hiking to biking to rafting and more.
Hike to 100 Hands Cave and stay overnight in the pit house at the Fremont Indian State Park.
Or kill it on the Kilnet Trail, part of our new mountain bike trail system above Richfield.
Raft the rapids past the Big Rock Canyon Mountain.
Or fish your heart out at Fish Lake.
Whatever it may be, we have a trail for you.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Utah's Trail Country, and come find your trail in Sevier County.
We've been spending a lot more time in our homes and with our families. This creates wear and tear on our floors. One solution to your flooring dilemmas is luxury vinyl pink flooring from Shepherd's Carpets. Hi, I'm Teresa from Shepherd's Carpets and Flooring to let you know that we carry high-quality vinyl plank flooring. The flooring is waterproof and is affordable for your home. Only at Shepherd's Carpets in Spanish Fork and Litchfield will you be able to get the quality flooring at a great price and help and advice to install it, or use our expert installers to do it for you.
Smithfield Foods offers excellent career opportunities right here in our area. Great jobs in all phases of hog production starting at $13 an hour. Certifications to $15.75 an hour in the first year. Other non-farm positions also available. Smithfield provides the full benefit package including medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, paid time off, education reimbursement, and more. Come join the team. Visit smithfieldfoods.com/careers or call 435-387-6000. Smithfield, good food responsibly.
You're listening to Utah's sports leader,
KSVC.
Welcome back here to Gatesville at Kearns High School. Robert Lovell with you alongside Willie Akers and Nolan Anderson here in the 2A Baseball State Championship. Coaches get into a little bit after some discussions.
Yeah, I think Coach walking behind during the warm-ups.
So, Hunter Johnson into the game now for Parowan.
Players have got to do it. I don't know what the problem is here.
They were saying South Sevier side was saying something to Parowan, and anyway, so the coaches were arguing about it for a minute, but they got it taken care of. Coach Baker came out of the dugout for South Sevier and said he'll take care of it. So Tate Brown stands on the left side with no outs, runner on first, 5 across this inning for South Sevier. Hunter Johnson, really looked it up, has not pitched in the varsity game this year. Heath takes off. First pitch, strike. Around the second is not in time. Keegan Heath slides in safely with a stolen base. Called strike to Brown.
Yeah, Brown's had a great game and chance to get an RBI right here now with that stolen base from Heath.
3 for 4 in the ball game. He's been pounding that hole between first and second.
Johnson sets. The 0-1. Swung on, ground ball to that side again. Fielded at second by Townsend. Throw to first is in time, but it moves the runner to third. So a 4-3 ground out for Tate Brown for the first out of the inning. And Keegan Heath moves up 90 feet.
Yeah, and that's key, that stolen base, and then that a good piece of hitting from Tate Brown to move the runner from second to third by pulling that pitch.
That's a big run. That's the 4-run cushion sitting right there.
You talked about it, that grand slam, right?
That's right.
They had a grand slam territory.
Brings Peyton Ingram into the game now for South Sevier. He stands in on the right side. He's had a hot game. Infield pulled in for Parowan, trying to cut off that run. Ball in the dirt, ball 1.
Yeah, Coach Baker's got to like the fact that Peyton Ingram's up to bat with the runner at third base.
Yeah, Ingram has swinging a hot bat. 3 for 3 in the game. 2 singles and a double. There's the 1-0 from Johnson out of the windup. This is inside, ball 2.
5 runs across, 4 hits in the inning.
Johnson from the windup. Again, the infield pulled in with 1 out, runner on third. The 2-0. Third ball. Called strike 1. The 2-1 count.
Yeah, and Ingram kind of just shakes his head. Oh well. He can.
I'm saying the same thing. Only well wasn't the word that I was using.
Peyton's got good confidence in himself to hit the ball here.
Ground ball to the right side. It gets through Townsend as he tried to backhand it right at him. And Heath will come in to score. It's now 14-10 South Sevier. Ingram stands at first on the E4.
Yeah, he hit that hard enough, though, that Townsend, like you say, just instead of just fielding it, squaring it up, kind of tried to backhand that one, and that 4th run comes across as far as the lead. That's their 6th run this inning. So they got the 4-run lead, yeah.
This is the second error in the game, but it couldn't come at a worse time for the Parowan Rams.
We have it as the 3rd because he had one earlier on the throw home.
Yeah.
Biggs Northrup squares the bunt, pulls it back, watches ball 1 go by high and away.
Oh, yeah, I missed the throw home.
So we have it as the 2nd in the inning, 3rd in the game for Parowan.
I agree.
Ingram takes a lead at first, about a 2.5-step lead. Johnson comes set. Ingram takes off. Northrop squared to bunt, pulls it back. Throw down to second is in time as they get Ingram out for the 2nd out of the inning on the caught stealing. 2 outs. Good throw from Boston.
Yeah, and you can try that with that 4-run lead because you get that next guy in scoring position, chance to add that 5th run cushion. But nonetheless, Biggs will have to start over with a 2-out rally right here.
It's a 1-1 count. That one was a called strike on that last pitch. Biggs has reached base 3 times. There's the 1-1. In the dirt, ball 2. He's been hit twice and walked once, and he struck out in the 5th. He's the 9th batter of the inning, so South Sevier has hit through the order. They've plated 6 runs in the process. Base is empty now. There's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, pretty healthy cut that time as he was wanting to try to lose one right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base. 2A state championship. The pitch from Johnson to Northrop. Curveball misses up. Ball 3 and a full count. Johnson from the windup takes the sign from Boss behind the plate. Here's the payoff pitch to Northrop. Upstairs for ball 4. Northrop reaches for the 4th time this game. Canyon Oakland, who got this inning going with a double down the left field line, stands in now for South Sevier.
31, Canyon Oakland.
Bottom of the 6th inning of the 2A state championship. South Sevier leads 14-10. Johnson from the stretch comes set. First pitch to Okerlund. Way outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Okerlund right now he can afford to be patient. He's the one that kind of started this off with that double. Be patient, pick your pitch out, see if you can't drive in another double, something in the gap. Maybe you can score bigs from first base.
Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. Hitters count for Canyon Oakland.
Yeah, hitters count right here, 2-0. Looking for a pitch he can drive down the line or deep in a gap.
2-0 pitch. There it is. Strike 1, up down the middle. Northrop's getting about a 2-step lead at first base for South Sevier. Okerlund stands back in on the right side. 2-1 from Johnson. Swung on, chop back at the middle. Townsend moves over, fields it, steps in the bag for out number 3. So a fielder's choice it into, but South Sevier has taken control with 6 runs in the inning. They do so on 4 hits in the inning. 2 errors committed by Parowan in the process, and 1 runner left on base. Through 6 in the 2A state championship. It's South Sevier 14, Parowan 10 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, NB6 Media.
South Sevier scored 6 runs on 5 hits.
Six runs accounted for in the first 3 hitters in the lineup for the Parowan Rams.
Next one misses low, ball 1. 7 from the first 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I didn't color that one in.
Next one. This is outside ball, 2 and a 2-1 count. So 7 of their 10 have come from these 3 batters.
Well, and right now, too, if you're Brindley, you got the 4-run lead, you're going to challenge them. Let them hit the ball. Chances are, yeah, they might give up a hit or 2, but you got defense to play it.
Line drive into right center field, down for a base hit for Trevin Yardley. He leads the inning off with a single. So he reaches for the 5th time in this game. What a game he's had. State tournament he's had.
Yeah.
So that will bring Shaden Benson to the plate now for Parowan.
He's a 513 hitter with 4 home runs. So Shaden Benson, a 534 hitter with 7 home runs. He ripped one to right fielder his last time up.
Yardley takes a lead. Benson stands in on the left side. First pitch from Brindley. In the dirt. Through the legs of Ingram. So Yardley moves up 90 feet to second base in scoring position. Ball 1 to Benson. Benson has reached 3 times. He flew out to center, walked and scored, singled and scored, and singled again.
Yeah, and at this point, you don't want to just give him a free pass, but throw him something off the plate, curveball down, see if you can't get him to roll over or pop something up.
There's the 1-0. This is outside for ball 2. Hitters count here for Benson. It's a 4-run South Sevier lead here in the top of the 7th of the 2A state championship. Brindley sets. The 2-0 pitch. High and away, ball 3 to Benson.
Yeah, more than likely just going to end up throwing that pitch outside again, walking him right here.
There's the 3-0. I guess so.
Yep.
Ball 4. That one was definitely closer.
Yeah, and Benson just, undoes the shin guard and tosses it over. He's used to that.
So runners at first and second now for Parowan. No outs here in the top of the 7th inning of the 2A state championship. Christian Bost at the plate for Parowan.
Something down. They need a ground ball here.
First pitch from Brindley to Bost. Swung on, blooped up the middle. Ridgetab's there at short, calls for it, makes the catch. Out number 1.
Infield fly right there is, 4 straight balls to Benson, and then you swing at that and get jammed. Coach Townsend's not going to like it, but South Sevier's really liking that one as they get the first out, and they need 2 more.
That's a big one because Chase Little's not going to have a chance to hit the grand slam.
That brings Little to the plate as he stands in on the right side. Runners take their lead. Little comes set. Brindley comes set. First pitch. Swung on, line drive into the left center field gap. Northrup moving over, able to cut it off quickly to hold Benson at second. They will give up 1 run on the play, an RBI single for Jace Little into left field. Yardley scores from second. It's now 14-11 your score as Benson moves up to second base. Still 1 out, 2 on for Parowan. It's a tying run at the plate with Wyatt Hall.
Wyatt Hall, a 339 hitter, no home runs.
In this game, he's 1 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. There's the first pitch from Brindley. Strike 1.
Yeah, Brindley just pounding the strike zone other than those 4 balls to Benson, which was probably by design. But Brindley's pretty confident out there in himself and looks good on the mound.
Next pitch swung on. It's popped up. Does it stay in play? Going over is Okerlund, and he runs out of real estate.
You think? Could see what happened at the end there, but
yeah, you got the runners at first and second, so there's a double play still option out there for South Sevier. We've seen 1 double play already out of them, but a double play and you win the state championship.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Brindley to Hall. Curveball swung on, fly ball to shallow right, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Morrell has it. He came up throwing home. Benson's on his way. He'll slide in safely. And it's a 2-run ball game. Tying run on base now for Parowan.
Yeah, good hit right there, and pretty good throw from Hagen Morrell. Made it interesting here at home plate, but Benson in safely. Surprised kind of that Hall didn't, or not Hall, but Jace Little didn't try to get the third on that throw. Obviously, you're down and you can't chance anything, but Parowan still hanging in there.
Brings Dawson Robb to the plate. There's the first pitch from Brindley. Swung on, blooped in the infield again. And infield fly rule,
yep.
2 outs as Riley Barney reels it in. A P4 for Robb for the second out. And that brings the BH Hunter Johnson to the plate. The South Sevier crowd on their feet. 1 out away. Their first state championship in 20 years, 8th baseball state title overall on the line. Brindley works from the stretch. Runners take their lead. First pitch to Johnson. Curveball, misses up, ball 1.
Yeah, Coach Townsend saying, hey, nothing up, get something out over the plate, you can drive.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing on, chop to the left side. Tens fields him
That's
short. Steps on the bag, and the South Sevier Rams are the 2022 2A state champions with a 14-12 win over Parowan as they get the fielder's choice ground ball to win it.
Little jubilation out there. Did I miss something? Where's the party?
Yeah, coaches out there hugging players, and
they're going to try and get them off the field early. We got a baseball game to come up right after this, and that was one of the announcements they made early.
Yeah, Kearns High School has their own playoff game starting today. They play Syracuse here at home, but
so they're really glad it didn't go to the if game.
Yeah, they had to push that one back. They'd have been playing under the lights, but South Sevier comes in number 1 and remains number 1 after the 2A state tournament. They're the champions. It was interesting. I saw Rich Tepps field that one. He goes over and steps on the bag. And I watched the baseball like he's going to keep this ball. That's his. He throws it in the grass, and immediately Riley Barney goes and picks it up.
Well, we talked about Evan Hafen earlier. He threw it over the left field wall when they won it 3 years ago. South Sevier and Parowan will give each other 5s as they go through the line. A great state tournament run again by Parowan for the second season in a row. They fall 1 win short for the state title. And South Sevier dropping down from 3A to 2A this year. They are crowned the 2A state champions. 8th baseball state title in school history, their first since 2022. 20 years on the dot for South Sevier.
And you look out at the scoreboard too, you know, they didn't get a chance to hit in the 7th. Didn't need to, obviously, in the bottom of the 7th. But 14 runs, 13 hits. You know, Parowan ends up with 12 runs on 13 hits. But that's what you get out of the South Sevier team. I felt like their strength was hitting the baseball. And, you know, even when they were down, they came back with some big hits and got that big 6-run inning to take that, tie the game up and then take the 4-run lead going into the 7th.
And no strikeouts looking in that inning.
Yeah. Yep.
Been kind of their Achilles heel at some crucial times in the ball game.
Megan Morrell jumps into the arms of Coach Eric Baker as he raises the number 1 finger to the South Sevier crowd.
Yeah, you know, give South Sevier a lot of credit. They came in with the target on their back, and they stuck it out. And then, like you said, Robert, you know, Parowan, that's tough, 2 in a row for them. But, you know, class act.
Brennan Jackson will hand that runner-up trophy to Trevin Yardley and Connor Robinson for Parowan.
Yep. I think if anybody deserves it, Trevin Yardley is one of them. Grab it.
And now Jackson from UHSAA will hand the trophy over to the lone senior for South Sevier, Hagen Morrell.
Yeah, look at the smile on his face, too. That's pretty cool. He's a big part of that team right there, that's for sure.
His team joins him around home plate as they celebrate their 8th baseball state championship. South Sevier crowd hesitantly working their way out onto the field to try to cheer with their team, celebrate with their team.
Yeah, now the players going out picking up their gloves and catcher's gear.
The area around you. We are guests of Kearns High School.
As they celebrate now down the right field line, we'll take a short break and come back with your post-game show next here from Gatesville at Kearns High School. The South Sevier Rams with a 14-12 win over Parowan of the 2022 2A baseball state champions.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attendance and continued support of high school activities. Thank you for your sportsmanship, and please drive home safely.